はいはいはい。こんばんは。脳天気系男性 VTuber、Yatsuno Hakuya です。Good evening, it's your son Raven VTuber, Yatsuno Hakuya. How's it going, everyone? We're gonna go right to it. I'm debating whether or not I should start this stream earlier, because my NeuroCloud streams tend to go... how do I say this? They tend to go around 3 or 4 hours, depending on how fast I can read. Hello, hello. Hello, Uranus. We're gonna go ahead and get right into the story. Ruintop song. Oh wait, no. We need to roll for this lady first. Fuck it. We'll do it later. Battlefield memories. Ruintop song. Oh man, she's so cute. Deep history. History is where men die. Or it's made where men die. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at her snake. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. Oh hey. I didn't realize if you try to click on them without actually owning them that this is what happens. It just shows you their... how do I say this? It shows you their character overview. Alright. Let's go. Alright, I need to post on Twitter first. And these days I can't keep up with whatever the heck the latest hashtag for VTubers on Twitter is. I'm not even sure people still use hashtags. The VTuber sphere has gotten way too big, way too huge. Down. Alright. And that should be good. Alright, good. Let's go. And that's instantly a wall text. Understandable. Well, hopefully these days my reading should be a little bit better now that I've fixed up some of my sound settings. Yeah. The best source of stories, the Chuohu. What should we think of Professor Tang of Nanyang University's folklore department? Question. Followers 1040. Question submitted. The year 2053, June the 12th. Thanks for the invitation. I'm at Werewolf Village and we just got off the plane. I'm from Nanyang University Folklore Department's 50th batch of graduates. Professor Tang commands tremendous respect in the anthropology world. However, anyone who's interacted with him will be awed by the depth of his knowledge. Still, anyone who really interacted with him wouldn't get the stereotypical frail, elegant, and soft-spoken image of a university professor from him. He's pushing 60, but this crazy old man is a massive narcissist. Both his temper and daily habits defy common sense. He's known for only arriving a few minutes before a lesson is supposed to be over, but he'll manage to cover the entire lesson in those few minutes. Certainly sounds punky enough. Wow. Certainly reminds me of a couple professors I've had. Dude just arrives 5 minutes before class ends, and he's like, "Okay, here's what's up. Ask the TAs for everything else. Ask the teaching assistants for everything else, but here's the lowdown. See you next week." Some professors are like that. Oh my god, she's so cute. She's so cute. She's so cute. She's so cute. What is she doing? What the hell is she doing? Oh, she's a sniper. Nice. It looks like she does... Every couple of attacks she does a combo. She also builds up a... What the hell? She's got a little voodoo doll and she's starting to curse. Starting some sort of curse chant. It's got Nora's face on it too. Let's see. What do you even do? Every 2 attacks she gets a stack. Soul Serpent follows Onion's normal attacks, dealing up on damage. Maximum of 10 Kindle Spirits can be gained from normal attacks and up to 20. Okay. Okay, so her snake helps her attack. And we've also got... What is this? Vanish with light. Increase its own attack speed. Oh. She's a self-buffer. Well, I mean, most of the snipers are self-buffers. Gosh, I really wish they would not have it auto-scroll like this. I can't read it in time. Nanyang University Campus BBS. That's a bulletin board. Random chat board. Wubba lubba dub. Oh my goodness. Wubba lubba dub. I only heard Old Tang is thinking about retiring. Anyone know anything about this? Supposedly he was diagnosed with early signs of Alzheimer's. I mean, he's old and he's been getting more and more forgetful during class. This guy knows what he's talking about. It's probably true since he hasn't been coming to classes much recently. He submitted a sabbatical request and said he's going to get a doll custom made for it to accompany him to fulfill his last wish before retirement. Years are not kind to anyone. Let's see. Customized EF55 model. A body type, SSD. Total of specifications list omitted. Total of 112 items. 4,187,588 yuan after taxes. Does not include the delivery and special transport fees. I guess that's like a couple $100,000 in US dollars. Estimate delivery date 2056 2/5. Customer notes: you can slack off with the other specifications, but make sure she's smart. I put all my retirement funds on her. Well, that sounds just like something you would do, although I put all my retirement funds into her sounds like some kind of elderly scam. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is like what they do with old people, right? People, I guess these insurance companies, they'll call up a old person. They'll say, oh, if you want to leave a good amount of cash for your children, then you should put all your money into this and this service, and they end up losing everything, and it's pretty awful. Make sure she's smart. Make sure my custom robot is smart. No, Zangyin's pretty smart, I think. At least she talks really smart. I love her accent, her dialect. It's great. Oh, we're just gonna speed it up now. Okay, so she's an attack speed operand. No. Interesting. Wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. She's smart unless Nora's involved. In that case, they both share a brain cell. Hello, Andre. You're right, you're right. Oh my gosh, those two are so great together. I love seeing them squabble. And how are you doing, Andre? Engineer, are you happy with this customization proposal? No, it won't do it all. Where do you feel the problems lie? If you ask me, a doll for academic research doesn't need a lot of purely ornamental designs. I'm not looking for a fashion model. Also, I think her face doesn't look too intelligent. I like to think I'm pretty smart, so my assistant has to look smart too. Oh my god, this guy. I'm pretty damn smart, so she better look smart too. About half an hour passes. And I'm getting on in the years and don't like red meat, so I typically only eat fish, so you have to... Oh, alright. Another half an hour passes. Alright, I understand. We'll adjust the customized product to your specifications. Both Professor Tang and that engineer's psychological fortitude are quite enviable. Oh my god. He's like, okay, first I need her to be really smart. I need her to look... And then he's like, you don't need her to look good. You just need to make her look smart. And then he's like, you need to make her be able to cook fish. Oh my god. So he's getting a doll researcher to complete his life's work. She has to be dignified, so she has to look smart. But also she has to start being his nurse and cook him fish. Everything good? That's wonderful. I don't... What did her ult just do? I need to read up on the ult. I forgot, they made it so that you auto ult now. Okay. We made a lot of adjustments. Okay. Mika! Jeez, Mika. Does this still count as a typo? Adjustments to the product. Per your suggestions from last time. We'll be going through the live trials now. About 2 hours later. Good. She's pretty bright. Considering she could easily solve a question like that. Definitely on the level of those 42 lab dolls I've seen before. That's not... I don't think that's possible. 42 lab dolls are specific. They're custom made. One of a kind. Your... Zhangyan is one of a kind, but that's just because you've badgered this engineer to death with all your personal personal requirements. But she's, in the end, she's still a custom. And not like a unique one of a kind. Let's see. We're glad you approve of our bespoke product. Are there any other issues? It's the same from before. The body still looks good. The body still looks too good, like a model. Do you understand what I'm getting at here? Still, since she's smart enough, it's not a huge problem. She's too attractive. Make her ugly. Okay. My most perfect daughter or granddaughter, but she's too beautiful. You need to make her uglier. Oh my goodness, this guy. Okay, what does her ult do? Serpent Rapturing Stratus. Releases the Soul Serpent, attacking a target for 5 seconds, dealing operant damage. Kindle Spirit is increased by 2. Gain 2 Kindle Spirits. Oh. Okay, it unleashes her snake. And the snake will attack an enemy for 5 seconds. Okay, let's not speed it up so I can actually see what it does. Oh no, she's cute. What a nightmare. And the engineer's like, oh my god, old man, just let me finish my... Let me end this already. Yeah, she is pretty damn cute. Okay, I see what it does now. That's pretty cool. I like her snake, it's so cool. Hey, Optidoc, how's it going? We're just playing the initial mission where we learn about Professor Tang, and he's basically Max Boomer. He's basically a giant boomer, and he's getting Alzheimer's. He's getting senile, so he decided to commission a custom doll to complete his life's work. He's like, okay, this doll, okay, you need to make her look smarter. Okay, she looks too pretty. You need to make her look uglier. Also, I only eat fish now, so you can't have her. You need to make her be able to cook fish for me. And he's like, if he's paying a couple $100,000, he might as well get her to be able to cook too, right? Okay. Alright, next. And he's like, oh, you need to make her as good as those 42 lab dolls. Because I'm super smart and I need her to be as smart as me. And I know those 42 lab dolls are considered the best dolls, so you need to make her as good as those. And the engineers was like, okay, sure. But, like, you know, the 42 lab dolls, they cost like millions of dollars. Way more than how much the professor is paying. 3 hours? You memorized the Jingtang miscellaneous notes that quickly? Indeed. Then let me ask you a question. What were the flour-based staple foods in the Song Dynasty called? All grain or millet-based grain products were collectively referred to as cakes. And what were their main types? Those primarily made of grains were called cakes. Those baked with fire were called hot cakes. Those boiled in water were called dumplings. Steamed ones were steamed dumplings. Buns were also known as cage cakes after the enclosure used to cook. I think this would sound more... It sounds a little bit stilted in English, just because of what we call them in English, but... I think this sounds a lot better in Chinese. But anyways, being a humanoid search engine is the basic requirement for any academic doll. Oh my god. The man paid several $100,000 US dollars just to have the robot equivalent of ChatGPT. Man, you spent that much money on her and you're just questioning her ability to memorize things. She's a robot. Of course she can remember things. You should be asking her about like the philosophy and stuff of how stuff works and like what she thinks about so and so. But I guess he's just testing her for now. Look at her. Look at her victory animation. It's so cool. It's so good. It's so good. Then she starts chanting. Oh my gosh. I wonder where they got the inspiration for her. They probably got it from Taoist religion. Like, people don't realize it, but Taoism is both religion and philosophy. Most people know about the philosophy, but the religion is real. Like, a lot of Chinese people don't even know that Taoism has a lot of religious elements to it. Oh wow, you were hurting. Nanmo no oke ni mo narimasen de. Narimasen de. Oh my gosh, her dialect is so cute. Okay, 2056. That is March 17th. When I first entered this field, I once visited a place called Mizune Village. Isn't that the place we went to last time with Nora? Full of the crazy people? It didn't show up on any maps. There are many strange tales surrounding that village, which have circulated for hundreds of years. Many mysterious things are said to appear when the great fog spreads during the full moon. That was the most bizarre thing I'd heard in my life, and I decided the path I would take from then on. Choices in our youth decide our entire life. Yeah, I guess that's true, huh? And maybe perhaps not the choices you take when you're like in your teen years, but around 20 is when a lot of people make the decision that affects the rest of their lives, even if they don't know it yet. I once tried to organize everything I'd seen and heard in Mizune Village into a book, but I was too busy with work to make it a reality. As time passed, the things about it slowly faded from my memory. I've forgotten many things, and perhaps I might even forget it all soon. Mizune Village has been engulfed in fighting, and I need to go there with Zhang-in before it and the mist around it fades. I believe she'll live up to the professor's expectations. Oh, I hope so too. Alright, let's go. Damn. She shoots fast. I'm probably gonna have her, even if she's not the strongest, I'm probably going to have her be one of my regulars, just because I really like her character. Oh my god, another wall of text. Chuohu, the best source of stories. What should we think of the folklore volume, The Riddle of Mizune Village, published by Professor Tang and his assistant? Balia, actually a goat game developer. Balia, Balia is the mascot for the director of this game. Guess he's still kicking in 2057. 34 years later, he's still kicking. It's probably the most relevant folklore-related work in recent years. Considering the relevant academic field is barren these days, the appearance of a work that is both professionally written and highly readable would draw the attention of the masses, and it would be quite extraordinary. Unfortunately, I heard that the author ended up crippled in the process of writing this book. On that note, please refer to my other answer. Nora, writer, bane of all green hairs. They're already fighting. I happen to know something about that assistant of Professor Tang. She likes bragging about how to act professional and all that, but in the end she wrote something that reads like a mystery novel. How should I put it? Perhaps it matches her standards. Is that something like how her mouth says no but her body says yes? What? Huh? What? 10 likes, 1,900 comments. She's getting ratioed so hard. Nora, what the hell are you saying? Oh my goodness. Bane of green hair cited, and her name is Nora. Jeez, Nora, what the frick? That is messed up. Can't say that. June 2057. 2 months after declining to have prosthetics installed, Professor Tang officially retired from the university, owing to worsening Alzheimer's syndrome, an inconvenience caused by the loss of both legs. Oh no. Supposedly, he used the royalties from the Riddle of Mizune Village to buy a lakeside house and spent the rest of his days there. Before he died, he turned over everything he learned over the course of his life to Nanyin University to make up for the regrets of his youth. Surely, Professor Tang must have been satisfied to have made his dream come true. But Professor Tang wasn't the sort to be so easily satisfied. We were teacher and student, as well as grandfather and granddaughter. He willed half of the riddle of Mizune's village royalties to me. I then bought a car so I could take him out for a drive and make a certain annoying black hair eat my dust. Eat my exhaust. Oh my god. I'm not laughing. She actually wrote ha ha ha. However, after our most recent trip out, Professor Tang suddenly asked me, "Excuse me, miss, but what is your name?" I couldn't reply for a very long time. Oh. The guy's... Oh no. His Alzheimer's finally caught up. Those are probably his memories burning. Yeah, Alzheimer's is... It sucks. Especially on the people who have to, you know, accompany you. Have to like take care of you. Oh my gosh. To the family and friends. Yeah, that really sucks. So I've heard that Helix works really well with her. Because she just resets her ult, which allows her to spam her ult again and again to keep stacking. Building up more stacks. Oh damn. Tell me why you want to join Project NeuroCloud. I heard that annoying black hair came along too, so how could I possibly not be there? Also, I want my knowledge and memories to be passed down, so obviously I'd be interested in Project NeuroCloud. Approved. Alright. Activation date 2055. November 22nd. Zhangyin. Welcome to Project NeuroCloud. God, her outfit's so nice. I like it. I like it so much. I love the colors. I love the stupid hat. I love the snake. Alright, let's do a gacha. Let's pull. Let's pull for a snake. Saker of Mysteries, Zhangyin. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, her model is so much more detailed than Nora's. Oh my gosh. You never get to see the running animations because they're always looking from top down, right? You never get a chance to appreciate it. I didn't realize how big her snake was. I thought it was a lot smaller. Okay. Let's roll. Streamer luck, let's go. Does it cancel? I wonder, does it cancel out your streamer luck if you actually say streamer luck? I've been pretty good with rolls in this game. They're super generous. I haven't gotten a single banner where I haven't managed to get who I wanted. Oh my gosh. Ah. Right. Once more. No. Okay. 2 tiers, and then... Alright, we are in business now. 30 rolls. Something a little bit... Where's the 31? Alright, alright. Cyber Media.
あーしは民族学研究家クラネにござんす。ほう、あーたがかのお教授さん。貝塚に書き記しておきませんとね。
Oh my gosh, I love her, I love her, I love her. She's great.
お手前です。自分はまた会えてうれ。
She's great. Alright, alright, alright. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade her as much as we can.
ああ、ミスコがまた伸びた。ああ、ミスコがまた伸びた。
Yeah, she's got a very refined sort of speech.
ああ、ミスコがまた伸びた。ああ、ミスコがまた伸びた。
Very sultry.
ミスコがまた伸びた。
Even though she's not supposed to be like maternal, she's... I don't know, I get that sort of like... sultry vibes from her, even though she's like not supposed to be like a MILF or anything. Alright. She's definitely not an One-san. Zangian produces... increases damage, hash rate, plus number of Kindle Spirit. Okay, okay. Higher scaling. Alright, good. Banish with light. Increases own attack speed. Oh, nice. By 50%. So she likes to stack attack speed and operand. Okay, where'd you go? I've got too many characters. There you are. Auto equip. Limit value. Wait, none of these are attack speed. Whatever. It's fine. And she likes plushy charms. Oh. Plushy charms. Somehow I thought I had her pinned down for liking Oden. I don't know why. Who would have thought streamer luck works? Yeah, I know. Who would have thought? Spaceship in a bottle and antique swords. I don't have enough. Aw, darn. But that should be enough to be able to unlock all her stories. All her profiles. Which I will, as usual, raid at the end of stream. I don't want to read it yet because it'll probably spoil the event. But for now we can... Actually no, let's not read it for now. We'll learn about her through the event itself. Upon the ruins, the flames of war will fill the sky, and echoes linger over the rubble. How long is this? That's a typical. Right. I don't like this darkness. The beeping of instruments, the humming of the bed, and the familiar sounds of footsteps and sheets of paper rustling against each other. These sounds. Am I home? Old man, are you there? Welcome back, Zangian. So I really did come home. Then you should have told me earlier. It scared the hell out of me. But when did I arrive? I don't remember at all. Why haven't my visual modules started up yet? Your visual modules have been damaged. My assistant is getting replacements for you. The person who sent you back said you were hit by a human firearm. A gun? I guess I got caught up in the fighting after all. And I lost some of my memories too. As expected. I told you before, we can't fight. So it's very dangerous to go into combat zones. Sorry, Zangian. However, the data you brought back is very precious. An old yet strong palm places itself on my head and gently rubs it. I like that feeling very much. Aw. Don't expect me to forgive you without a couple of sticks of grilled fish. And they've got to be the best kind of grilled mackerels. Oh, she likes mackerel too. I'll have my assistant fetch some grilled mackerels for you as well. It's more like it. I'll wait here a little longer then. You need to rest. The mirth in his voice fades, and at the same time, I can hear the sounds of clothing fasteners closing and buttons sliding into holes. The noises are a little less slow and tired. They're nowhere as crisp and quick as what they sounded like whenever I helped him dress and get his things on before we went out together in the past. Wait a minute. You're going out? Right now? The flames of war will swallow up everything, and the debris and history of the minor tribes will be wiped away in the same stroke. You'll still need time to recover, but those traces can't wait, so I need to collect and preserve the last vestiges of their data. Hey, am I hearing things? You're going into a war zone at your age? Weren't you the one who told me a virtuous man doesn't stand next to a wall that's about to collapse? Wait, don't go. Please, don't go. Listen to my assistant. Old man, you mustn't go. Can't you at least wait until I'm better? If anything happens to you, I won't be able to save you. You'll get hurt. Ricochets will punch through your spine. Little C won't be able to help you when I'm lying here. Nonsense. I'll be back with something tasty. You're so old already. So why are you so intent on doing something like this? Why won't you listen to me? Are you going to throw away your life to collect data? I don't get it. Is it worth it? Is it really worth it? My angry shouts echo only in my mind. Amidst the silence of reality, the door closes with a creak. Warning. Oh. Warning. Activity restricted. Chassis damage at 42%. Calling for aid is recommended. Move! Stop blocking my way! This damn darkness. Let me see! Let me move! Let me ask why you're going into such dangerous territory, even though you know the risks. Oh, we're in Cyclops. Suddenly, the darkness before me is pulled away by someone. The memories that have been called up recede like a tide, and new information floods into my processor module. Looks like I had a not-so-pleasant dream. Where am I? Target reactivation complete. Vocal systems are fine. State your name and sector of origin. An icy cold male speaks from above. Zhang Yin realizes that there is something pressed against her head. I'm Zhang Yin. My origin is the cloud sector. Good. Your logic circuits are functioning normally. You may get— oh hey! I forgot your name, but you were in the last event. Zhang Yin props herself up and looks around. She's surrounded by post-battle ruins, and she is currently lying in a sunken region among these ruins. I remember now. I entered this sector, and before I found the sector administrator, something blew me up. Where is this place? This is the Cyclops sector. Can you stand? Assuming your visual modules aren't defective, you should know that my leg is pinned. Any agent could easily get free of this weight. Yeah, but look at his face. This is the look of disgust. This is the It was like he was looking at walking garbage. I hope you will refine your phrasing. Only the Cyclops sector's agents could regard such a big chunk of solidified operands as nothing more than a chunk of cream wafer. Typically speaking, an agent cannot leave their sector of origin. Before we discuss the rules, could I trouble you to exert those dainty hands of yours to help move this piece of rubble away? The red-haired agent looks at her, and then moves the debris. So what's going on? Does it rain bombs from the sky here? You were unlucky. A Greater Sanctifier's attack swept through this area, and the buildings were destroyed. We were building the sector now, which was how we found you pinned under the rubble. Were you fighting the Greater Sanctifier? No, we were fighting her with our friends. Someone else was fighting the Greater Sanctifier. Cyclops really is a military sector after all. You're also eager for a fight that you'll even throw down with a Greater Sanctifier. Zhang Yin rises and checks herself. Not too badly damaged. It's mainly been limited to my clothing and some operand holes. Compared to that... Hey, did you see a snake beside me when you found me? It's right there. It's right there. Your hand is literally on your snake. You know, this very small and very cute kind. This is not small, you know, but it is pretty cute. As she gesticulates in the air, Zhang Yin engages the appropriate cognitive modules. Agent accessory detected. Damage level at 89%. Forced hibernation mode has been engaged. Well, that's terrible. Even if I could fix you, your memory data would probably be gone. Looks like I'll have to tell you a long story again. She talks to her pet snake. That's cute. You were the only agent nearby that survived. Whatever you plan to do, I advise you to leave this area. So the fighting hasn't finished? The fighting could resume at any moment. Zhang Yan looks in the direction where this unfamiliar agent is looking. The stories that were once told in this sector have all been buried under the ruins. The flames of war will swallow up all traces, and the debris of history of the minor tribes will be wiped out in the same stroke. You still need time to recover. The battlefield. A place being rebuilt. The scenery is so familiar. Just like the place Professor Tang went. Is this the kind of place the old man was so bent on going to? Enough spacing out. Now that you know the situation, you should hurry up and leave. Wait! What is it? What else is there? Zhang Yin is briefly at a loss for words as she sees the suspicious look in the agent's eyes. The words she is about to speak catch her in the throat, and it startles her. I need to stay here. A puzzled expression crosses the agent's face. Why do you need to stay here? Why do I need to stay here? However, Zhang Yin's neurocloud is in chaos, having just awoken from hibernation. Collecting post-battle data? Ensuring my own safety, or... my snake, no, my friend's been destroyed, but its neurocloud data is still intact, so I need to find a new carrier for it, right? Zhang Yin tries her best to conjure up a reason to stay from her confused situation. It isn't very convincing, but she soon recovers her forthright and determined demeanor. Verbal negotiations are her forte. It's an important friend of mine, and a guarantor of my safety. If I leave now, who will protect me if I run into trouble again? Are you going to do it? You may have a request you want to make, but the Cyclops sector cannot meet it at the moment. Ah, don't be such a stick in the mud. Look at it this way. If I stay behind, I'll be able to contribute to your efforts in some way. A win-win is the best way. She's sticking out her tongue. There's no need for that. What about your battles, then? I mean, if you're going up against Sanctifiers, an extra hand would help. I doubt a doll who can't even protect herself would be of any help. Isn't there an assistance system? Or maybe I could store code signatures. Isn't there something I can do? I mean, surely I can be a legal visitor, right? He's like, oh my god, what a pain in the ass. After being pestered by Zhang Yin for so long, a crack finally appears on the agent's blank expression. You are not an agent of Cyclops. You'd be better off elsewhere. Better off in another place? It just so happens that we have a way to communicate with them. Come with me. Zhang Yin lifts up her skirt and steps carefully out of the rubble. The agent walks onward without saying a thing. The somber atmosphere following a battle seems to take physical form, weighing down on Zhang Yin's sensory systems. Even an agent can't escape the seriousness of war, can they? Seriousness. Seriousness. Nobody's smiling, and everyone moves like they're seeking the highest efficiency possible. It's like how survival is the only thing in a world at war. That is our purpose. To fight and then to live on. I know that. Are you not going to question our purpose? Dolls and resident agents are the same. We both act to fulfill the purposes the humans gave us. If I wanted to complain about the unreasonable things in the world, there'd be too many of them to work through. Ultimately, it's just that our aims are different. For instance, I don't understand why someone would insist on going somewhere to preserve the cultural information of a place, even if they knew that doing so would be very dangerous. ... He's just like, what is she going on about? There's no question that you are a doll from that place. What place? We're here. The red-haired agent comes to a halt, and Zhangyan looks ahead. The ruins of a wall snake out in the distance. It seems the wall that once stood here divided the sector in two. Although it's been demolished, its remains are as glaring as stitches after a surgery. And in the midst of this wreckage stands a single intact building, in stark contrast to its surroundings. Is this a bar? The agent pushes the door open and leads Zhangyan inside. Jin, I've brought an agent from your sector. Thank you, Nameless. Oh, that's what his name was. Name was Nameless. Yeah, it's not... And it's not some sort of codename. His name is actually just Nameless. There's only one Nameless, as if I can recall properly. The blonde doll stands behind the counter before bowing briefly to Zhangyan and the red-haired agent. Greetings, I am Jin, the Oasis support in the Cyclops sector. Alright, we've got a familiar face. Explanation. Fortify yourself with a clear, unwavering heart. Alright, so let's get some people together. What if we stack attack speed? What if we stack attack speed? Oh. This is gonna be so good. This is gonna be so good. Let's see. And we can even bring in Hannah too. Hannah's good. Oh yeah, let's just stack attack speed. We can finally do an attack speed build. Let's try it out. Okay, who needs a tank? We don't need a tank. That's silly. Tank dumb. Don't need it. We're gonna sock delage her. I'll have Hannah too. And who needs healing? We don't need healing either. Let's do this. Of course, Sock Delage does the most damage so far. The Cyclops sector. At the former site of the quarantine hall, Jin's bar. I still have not read chapters 2, so I don't know too much about what happens in this sector yet. I'll leave her to you then. Hurry up and leave Cyclops. I don't have the time to keep taking care of you. You too, Jin. Pick another building to set up shop. The bar's been hit by accident several times now. There's no guarantee as to when it'll collapse. Thank you for the reminder, Nameless. The agent called Nameless waves it off and leaves the bar. I'm Zhangyan, a doll from the Cloud sector. Nice to meet you. I'm Jin of the Cloud sector. Nice to meet you, Zhangyan of the Cloud sector. I'm Jin of the Cloud sector. Ms. Zhangyan, would you like a cocktail? Strong liquor suits the Cyclops sector very well. I'll pass. Rather, I'm more interested in why someone is using etiquette from the British Middle Ages in the 2060s. The first order I received after being rolled out was to maintain the elegance of an English gentleman, regardless of You seem very familiar with such etiquette, seeing how accurate you were. Well, that is my profession, after all. So, are you the contact that the agent was talking about? Indeed, I am. The Oasis is the professor's private sector, and it takes the dolls from the Cloud sector, who are lost and scattered throughout Magracy. A personal sector. Is it safe there? Cyclops is a major Svarog sector, and it's got more holes in it than a Calandra right now. Do you not think that point is adequately proven by the fact I can be dispatched to a place like this? Kind of makes sense. Another question, is there someone in the Oasis called Nora? One of Nora's newly published novels just hit the shelves. What the hell? Was I the unlucky one in the end? Zhang Yin pouts, but her expression visibly softens. She drinks the ice water Jin offers her, and looks outside the bar window. The ruins of the wall stand under the darkened sky. Bullet marks and noxious black smoke. Stains marks its surface. Silent agents pass through the gap in it, with thousand-yard stares. War does wipe away a lot of things. To collect and preserve the last of their data, right? Old man, I still can't accept your actions. So yeah, her major sticking point is that Grandpa basically went off to a war zone and died. And she's trying to understand why he would do that. Zhang Yin places the ice water on the table. The clear, cool sensation has banished some of the confusion in the neural cloud. The images from her visual systems overlap once again with the scenes from her memory. Still, I'll be able to understand you better if I see a little more, right? Thank you for the help you've given to Nora and myself. However, I can't go to the Oasis. I still have something I need to do in Cyclops, and I plan to help with the post-battle reconstruction here. So don't tell the professor I'm here. Wait a minute, what are you doing? Jin's hands stop moving, and he moves his screen over, in front of Zhang Yin's eyes. Lost doll contact registration reply. Serial number 217. Zhang Yin. The professor has already received news of you. This is the Oasis's response. You may proceed to the Oasis anytime you wish. You're being a little too quick, don't you think? Couldn't you at least hear me out first? That's my job. Why, are you a barkeeper and electronic watchdog? While later, Zhang Yin and Jin hear someone moving rubble outside. A moment later, light shines through. They remove debris and she hears Nameless's voice. Why is it you again? It's a long story. I should be asking now. Why is it you again? Two of them remain buried under rubble for a long time, but no one has come yet. Doesn't war go best with drinks? Drinks are the fuel of war, but the war is over. Maybe it isn't really time for the bar to open yet. I guess these two are gonna get trapped in the rubble. Yeah, I guess it's unrealistic to expect Zhang Yin to do that much damage right now. Especially considering my other two DPSs are they're pretty much maxed out. Fully optimized. Imagine she'll do more damage over time due to her ramping up. Cyclops sector at the former site of the quarantine hall. Why you? Are you a barkeeper and electronic watchdog? Jin answers Zhang Yin's anxiety with nothing more than a calm look. Meeting the needs of the customer is every bartender's duty. The professor wishes for me to bring back every lost doll. Also, the current Cyclops sector is not suitable for long-term habitation. You're not even listening to me, are you? Well then, by your own words, the fact that I'm here means that I'm a customer too. Of course. Fine then, I was quashed for too long and I'm starving. What would you like to eat? Meh, I don't want to give you a hard time, so some roast fish will do. That is not my area of specialty, Miss Zhang. Didn't you say you wouldn't refuse a customer's request? Oh my god, look at that face! She's bringing out the smug. Ah, she's bringing it out now. The Ksolgaki. The Ksolgaki. I'm just saying that you might not be happy with the result. Zhang Yin sits at the counter and stretches. I understand. One moment, please. With that, Jin retreats into the bar's kitchen. Was that asking too much of him? Forget it. He must have some confidence in his skills since he agreed. Zhang Yin listens to the faint sound of the pressure cooker's valves and other mechanical noises coming from the kitchen. The shelf designs look like weapons racks. They must be the original furnishings from Cyclops. Oh yeah, those do look like weapons racks. Using military-style furniture for a bar is pretty in theme with its location, but it doesn't look like anyone's visiting. When you get down to it, there's no way the bar would get any business if everyone in Cyclops were like that nameless. Gentle piano music echoes from the bar. Zhang Yin continues looking around and finds herself starting to feel strangely sympathetic. Bullying a bartender who doesn't get any business is just sad. I should go check on him. Zhang Yin stands up and circles over to the kitchen door, then knocks on it. Jin, are you alright in there? Sorry, Miss Zhang Yin, but I'll have to ask you to wait a little more. I think I smelled something burning in there. If you really can't make it, then you don't need to force yourself to try. Alright, please wait a little. What are you making in there that needs me to keep waiting? That's a pressure cooker, right? You should turn it off. Are you rushing to clean up because you burnt too many fish? Not at all. The truth is, I accidentally burnt my hand, so it's a little hard to... Jin, are you okay? You don't need to push yourself that hard now, do you? Is it so hard to admit defeat? Zhang Yin places her ear on the door and tries to listen in on what's going on inside. The door trembles slightly, but the voice from behind it is still calm and steady. Drinks are things that make customers happy. The same goes for bars. Do you seriously not know the difference between teasing and actual request? If you're making fun of me, then you must surely wish to be happy, Ms. Zhang Yin. To you, that would be like a spiritual cocktail. What is this? What is this? The unstoppable force and the unmoving object? I guess that works. Are you done cleaning up inside? I'm sorry, but not yet. The door's vibrations seem to grow a little more intense. Is that an earthquake? Doesn't seem quite right. Perhaps it is because there is no way to shut off the pressure cooker. Whoa, huh? Zhang Yin doesn't bother sparing a thought for etiquette and immediately opens the door. The acrid stench of burning fills her nose, and she sees Jin with a burnt hand on the old-style pressure cooker's valve, whose needle gauge is well into the red zone. What are you doing? It's about to explode! I was trying to turn it off, but the valve doesn't seem to be engaged. Perhaps its design was too old. Oh my... Isn't this an accident? How can you stay so calm at a time like this? Run! Zhang Yin doesn't spare a second thought before she grabs Jin by the sleeve and runs out of the bar, dragging him behind her. Just as they reach the main room and are about to leave the bar... What the heck, Jin? Oh my goodness. The bar promptly collapses, burying the two dolls in rubble. Oh my... Jin, what the heck are you doing? Oh, but Zhang Yin does do quite a bit of damage. Even without being optimized. The little building that had been perfectly fine just a few minutes ago is now a pile of rubble. Meanwhile, the dolls are stuck underneath it, pinned by debris. It's been less than half an hour since I got free of a situation like this. Seems like nothing good happens whenever I actively ask for a grilled fish. Still, wouldn't it be a good thing if you'd opened your eyes to the dangers of the Cyclops sector? Jin. He's just completely unfazed. Why are you so damn obsessed with chasing me away anyway? It's as though the Bazi of you, Nameless, and even the sector are all at odds with me. Bazi, you say? That's a Chinese expression. Are you a Chinese doll then, Miss Zhangyan? Huh. Even a doll can calculate their Bazi based on their production rate. Got a problem with that? Don't let it get to you, Miss Zhangyan. Everyone has their needs of their own. We are simply trying to convey our respective thoughts to each other, to the best of our ability. Jin reaches a hand out of the rubble, and begins typing on a comms device with practiced familiarity. I've sent the rescue signal. Someone should arrive soon to help us. You seem so familiar with the process that it makes my heart ache. You flatter me. I'm not flattering you. Honestly, it would be better if you could just slow down a little. Forget it, it's not important. Don't derail my train of thought. Certainly. After saying that, Jin falls silent. Jin, are you still there? You didn't blue screen, did you? The only answer Zhangyan gets is silence. Jin, I'm not thinking anymore. You can talk now. Alright, I did not in fact blue screen. Okay, these two are really good together too. Jin is completely serious and straightforward. Whereas, so this is how you counter the Solgaki. Just completely comply with everything she says. And she'll get nervous. Your reaction logic makes me wonder if we're still at the beginning of the 21st century. Yeah, like... basically just don't react to them, because they're all looking for a reaction, right? So just don't react to them and just do whatever they want, and they'll be like, why are you doing everything I want? Why aren't you getting angry? Why aren't you pushing back? Why do you say that? Back then, dolls in the proper sense didn't exist yet. AI had only developed to the point where people could ask Jin, and the AI would respond with, I'm here. My sense of autonomy does not work that way. The moment you step into my bar, you are my guest. But that makes it very easy for others to bully you. The truth is, not many people do that. Most customers come to the bar to unburden themselves, have me listen to them, and then mix them a drink. Customers like yourself are very rare. I'm not surprised. It sounds like most of yours just want to have their water drawn. Having their water drawn? It's a regional expression. Do you know what a well is? I believe there is a certain sentiment among winemakers where they insist on using well water for the best mouthfeel in their creations. Also, wells are a common element in Eastern horror movies. Indeed, they're unfathomable objects of mystery, able to provide life-giving water, but also capable of taking life. If you compare the human heart to a well, then the emotions flowing up from within it would be water. A very cunning comparison indeed. Seems to resonate with you. In reality, I had customers who wanted me to hear their stories and then custom make a drink for them. I did not understand the meaning of such an activity then, but after listening to your account, I think I'm beginning to see. What they wanted was for me to mix a drink that was similar to their emotions. They would see themselves in their drink, then consume it, and be at peace. I have never heard anyone describe drinking like that before, but... you know, that sort of makes sense. How the hell does someone blow up a building while trying to cook a damn fish? Yeah, that's what I want to know. Andre, that's what I want to know. How do you make, in the first place, how do you roast something with a pressure cooker? How do you roast something with a pressure cooker? You're supposed to put water in there. It's not strange at all. Whether it's folklore or the service industry, they both get through reading the flow of people's hearts. Yet we are but dolls. What are you talking about? We were created by human beings, so we are part human too. We are tools for humans, responsible for playing roles in their stories. No, we are the continuation of the human story. Is that like how alcohol is responsible for drawing out all sorts of stories? In that case, what kind of story do you want to write in Cyclops, Miss Zhangyan? I just want to understand what that old man was thinking when he rushed into a war zone to save its cultural data, even though he knew he'd get caught up in the fighting. I'm a doll, you know, a doll. Even if I got smashed up, then what did he... If even I got all smashed up, then what did he think he was? Rambo? Okay. Okay. I thought that was a typo, but then I remembered, oh right, copyright. He was just a folklore studies professor who couldn't even hold on to a chicken. Didn't he know what that meant? What would have happened if he hadn't gone? Zhangyan falls silent and looks away, leaning against a piece of debris that doesn't stick out so much. The place would have been engulfed in the flames of war, and there wouldn't even be ruins left, to say nothing of any other traces. Meanwhile, the chain of legends we had been following all that time would have been broken. Her memories returned to that day. The old man gently rubbed Zhangyan's head and bade farewell, while all she could do was grumble impotently as she lay in the darkness. Is he still around then? Yeah, he's still alive. And he brought back all the information he was looking for, just like he wanted. Though the price was both his legs. I have no right to judge his decisions, but I believe he was prepared to deal with such an outcome, or at least he was resolved to. Okay, so this is before she bought the car. And before he went fully senile. How about yourself? The Cyclops sector is still in danger at the moment, and fighting might break out at any time. You should be aware of that too, so why do you insist on staying? The first time I went to a rough region with Professor Tung, I was disgusted and terrified by the ugly practices there. But after learning about their history and the difficulties they'd faced, I gradually came to understand them. Your disagreement stems from a lack of understanding, which is why you're trying to employ a similar situation in order to understand Professor Tung. Similar solution, Have I missed the mark? No, you're right. Frankly speaking, I hadn't thought that far ahead. But you've given me an idea. Perhaps a similar solution might help me close the gap. The desire to preserve something, record something, rescue something, and restore the original face of the ruins, even under the threat of war. Seems you finally figured it out. I just figured out what I'm going to do next. Also, this way I'm sure even that red-headed chap will let me stay on. What kind of drink would you like? Why did you mention that all of a sudden? In many cases, people drink to celebrate a success. Isn't that a cultural practice? Is this a roundabout way of showing your approval? I thought you'd continue insisting that I shouldn't stay behind. The procedures for registering a lost doll are too simple, so there might be a few errors in the process. I'm pretty sure the professor won't mind if you hang around outside for a bit, to make sure there aren't any loopholes we missed. Huh. Though she can't see Jin's face, Zhangyan laughs nonetheless. Speaking of which, we've been talking for so long, but why are we still stuck under this rubble? Help was on the way. Didn't you say they'd be here soon? As you know, being too precise will give a customer's false expectations, so you tried to calm me down with vague words, while also getting my story out of me, and seeing if you could convince me? At the very least, help is really on its way now. Oh my god. With great effort, Zhangyan turns her head over and her eyes go wide. You... Regional expression. You're as unreliable as your fish grilling skills! Oh my goodness. Let's see, we'll do this then. はいはい、さすがは私。さすがは you。
せいぜい楽しく。大量大量。一緒に狩りをしよう。
Like, I wonder what exactly are the foods that Jin is actually used to cooking. If you can't make grilled fish, because I don't know, grilling fish seems actually not that hard. You just take a fish and just put it over a flame. Why did he need a pressure cooker? I do not understand. The demolished rubble has been excavated. Nameless watches the two dolls which has been rescued from it, his face unreadable. I don't know, that face looks pretty readable to me. Looks like the face of disgust. So you're telling me that you did not in fact set off a bomb here just now, but you instead used an ancient pressure cooker to grill a fish, causing it to explode. This guy is just like, what am I listening to? Could you please not repeat that every single time? My intellect modules take a hit every time I hear it. Recording unplanned actions is the basic principle, lest you end up being flagged as an irregular agent. Let's take you for example. Your insistence on staying in a sector to which you are not native is one of the hallmarks of an irregular agent. Please don't emphasize that anymore. .jpg. Oh, she's a memer too. Wait a minute. Jin's not a local either, right? So why am I the only one you're trying to chase away? The Oasis and Cyclops have signed a mutual cooperation pact, and as a member of the Oasis on dispatch, I have the right to be stationed here. And I can apply for that permission too. I can even help perform file restoration and rebuild the sector. Even so, are you still going to drive away a folklore researcher, even after seeing the current state of the Cyclops sector? Nameless furrows his brows and subconsciously looks at the ruins around him, as well as the agents working upon them. What are you getting at? Cyclops is currently rebuilding after a disaster, right? Well, given what I've been seeing on the way in, it's less rebuilding than bulldozing the ruins and building anew on top of them. If you don't take any appropriate measures to protect or preserve the ruins, won't that mean that the rebuilt Cyclops sector will have nothing in common with the old sector, other than information data? It's different for me, whether it's data preservation, restoration, or scenery recreation. A culture expert like me is the most professional person for the job. The Cyclops sector doesn't need any of these. Agents don't care about the past. Nameless suddenly stops speaking, as though he's thought of something, and then glances to the side. I don't know if I spoke a key phrase or something, but I get the feeling that I've triggered something. Preservation of the past, recording history, rescuing civilization, attempting to restore the original appearance. That is the cultural expert's calling. No matter how you slice it, you wouldn't go to the shop to buy something new if you could mend a familiar household item, right? It'd be expensive and hard to use. But you... He's at a loss for words. Nameless groans quietly. He seems to have been shaken. Yeah, she mind broke him. Also, I won't spend too long here. I'll go once I fix Little C. I told you before, right? Without Little C, I have essentially zero fighting power, without an agent to assist me. If you had to help an allied agent who can't fight to leave the sector, you'd have to send someone along with them, right? In that case, why not have them help fix Little C? Then I can help you fix the situation. It's a win-win. Got it. Nameless's slightly unfocused electronic pupils sharpen up again. In keeping with the mutual assistance pact, I will help you repair your agent accessory, Little C, while you help us rebuild the sector. Once the repairs are complete, and the agent's accessory can function normally, I will escort you out of the Cyclops sector. Any objections? Why are you so eager to chase me away anyway? Alright, that'll do. Okay, yeah, whatever. Give me 5. Nameless slowly raises his arms, pausing twice along the way because he doesn't understand the meaning of high-fiving. Zhang doesn't seem bothered by it, and swiftly claps her hand against Nameless's palm. It's a deal. I'll send someone to help rebuild the bar afterwards. You and I will go look for Liv, for the administrator in order to apply for permission to stay, as well as solving the problem of your little C. What's with you now? My hand's gone numb. He broke her hand! Oh my goodness. He broke her hand. Sensing change, painful blood oaths lead to permanent injuries. I don't know what that means.
ご期待に応え、ご覧に入れます。フェリックス、出動。弓の準備はもうアナライザーのデバッグ完了。任せてください。
なら舞台は俺が率いよう。
皆様、開幕をお見逃しなく。一緒に狩りを。催促にして学朝し、週の一生白したり。出発するぞ。所詮は長中まつぎ。取るに足りませんね。
Jin discovers that the repaired bar's audio dampening is too strong, to the point where he can't hear music in the back room. Mr. Jin, the bar's been fixed. Please have a look. Can't hear CDs playing when I'm in the back. We installed excellent soundproofing systems. That's how it's designed. It's not a problem, it's a feature. That's just how it works, alright? That's just the way it works. Alright. Greetings, Ms. Zhang. I'm your host, Monitor 101. Your access request is being processed. In roughly 3 minutes, you will be able to meet the admin. We'll wait here then. Speaking of which, I never asked your name. Are you nameless? You don't need to know. You don't need to know. That's quite the exotic sounding name. He is just not having a great time with her. It's Sorte 002369. Yeah, I think I prefer nameless. What kind of name is that? It's a serial number. I don't have a name. And what about those random numbers at the end? The number of times I've been reset. Let's just call you nameless. Fine by me. I don't understand why you're so obsessed either. Names are very important. Knowing a person's name is like remembering an individual. Otherwise, why would humans even name anyone? They might as well call a baby Homo sapiens 150000000000002, no? Can't believe you didn't retort or carry on the conversation. You'll make me come off as an idiot if you don't play along, you know. Your explanation makes sense. Our administrator does not use the serial number. She has her own name. That's more like it. What's she called? Her name is Tasha. Oh, he's smiling. Tasha sounds like a nice name. Persons ahead in queue, 0. Please enter. Zhang looks inside the room and sees a gray-haired female. Hello, Administrator. It's not often that you bring guests along with your own volition. Looks like you're getting along quite well with the Oasis. Are you the new member of the Oasis, Ms. Zhang? Nice to meet you. I'm the Administrator of the Cyclops Sector, Olivia. Hello, I'm Zhang, a cultural researcher. I'm quite interested in what you wrote for your reason for staying. To restore the original face of the Cyclops Sector, but unfortunately I've been rather quite busy. If we get the chance, perhaps we can discuss your proposal at length later on. If you need my help for anything, you can ask Monitor 101. She'll relay your message. I hope you enjoy your stay. See you again. Is that how the Cyclops Sector's administrator works? She's gentle, yet efficient. I thought she'd be as blockheaded as you. However, Nameless remained silent. Speaking of which, is Tasha her nickname? It doesn't seem linguistically correct. No, she is not Tasha. Does Cyclops have another administrator? Nameless's expression turns a little gloomy. Is something wrong? According to your itinerary, you're headed to the database to look for information related to repairing agent accessories. Please come with me. This is the most highly classified information that Cyclops has authorized its allies to view. While certain top secret information is not included, most weapons data can be found here. What manner of device is this little C of yours? Little C is a snake. Understood. One moment, please. This is BOA 3, submachine gun, originally developed by the Zima Corporation. Cyclops uses the base design to... Little C isn't a boa or anything, it's just a snake, a very small... Pardon me, I misunderstood. Have a look at this then. This is Rattlesnake 4, revolver, originally designed by Talon Heavy Industries. Cyclops altered the base design and... Stop! Little C isn't a boa or rattlesnake or a gun or a cannon, it's just a snake. A snake! It moves! Got that? It goes sss and all. It's very cute and a very small snake. Do you? Zhang angrily imitates a serpentine motion with her arm. Oh my, that's so cute. She's hissing at me. I get it. No, you don't. Monitor 101 brings up an image. It's a QR code for the address of Ultimate Life's biological sector if you need it. Let me try. Monitor 101. Are there any reptiliform bionic military drones in the database? Look for something similar to Hummingbird scout drones or Black Widow spider mines. No appropriate matches have been found. We can develop one based on specified requirements. Do so then. Activating Bionic Military Drone Development Program. Simulation Project, Vertebrate, Reptiliform, Snake. Please submit the NeuroCloud data required for the drone. If there is no appropriate data, the program will perform an equivalent exchange. Here, this is Little C's data. I guess Little C is getting an upgrade. NeuroCloud data registered, now developing. So that's it? Yep, leave the rest to Monitor 101. I'm gonna stay here for the time being. I'll help you rebuild your sector. I promised you that earlier. Zhang Yin doesn't give Nameless a chance to refuse and immediately leaves the database. After passing the former location of the wall, the two of them arrive at the other side, which is exceptionally run down. There's a plaza amidst the rubble, and Nameless comes to a halt after bringing Zhang Yin there. This will do. Please give me some room. I'm going to start work. Actually, there's no need to do all this. All you have to do is wait in the data center for Monitor 101 to make a new serpent form corpus. Cyclops sector is by no means a safe place right now. There are many problems left over which haven't been taken care of. But you're here, aren't you? You won't let me get hurt. You... Rather than play the role of a broken record repeating the word no, why don't you come to see what I can do for you? How about that? What do you want to show me? For instance, the plaza we're in now shows signs of broken walls, so it must have been a venue hall of some sort in the past. It was a training hall. In that case, going by the blueprints, its original appearance should have been like this. Zhang Yin draws a sketch of the hall in a little notebook she always carries on her. Where did you get those blueprints from? I saw them in the database just now. The blueprint was open when I went inside. You really will go to any lengths to stay here, huh? Thank you for your praise, but there are some limits to what I'll do. For example, I'll never eat the canned rations you have here in Cyclops. I guess they're still using canned rations. We don't really use canned rations in most modern militaries, I think. Nowadays they don't use canned rations. They have like the self-heating plastic bags. So it's a lot healthier. Not as heavily salted or dried up. If the program diagram is correct, then you can try to fix it in basic mode. I can. Nameless reallocates operands and constructs the frameworks of the training hall. What kind of training did you do here? Was it shooting, or did you do free sparring? It was divided up into sections. The shooting section was here. I thought so too. There are lots of horizontal bullet marks here. Do you still remember what marks were on this pillar? I do, but why? Then tell me where they were, and then add some where. Nameless silently follows her guidance, changing the training hall one step at a time. Several hours later, the plaza has been restored into an expansive training hall, and two of them are standing in the middle of it. All we need now is a roof. What do you think of my handiwork? You spent most of our time on pointless details. In terms of practicality, it's barely passable. Hey, don't you think it's about time you stopped acting like a tsundere and say what you're actually feeling right now? Nameless looks away from her and looks around himself. His electronic pupils sweep over some deliberately aged facilities and equipment. This is so good, because in Nora's event, Zhang Yin and Nora were both the funny guy. But in this case, she's got like deadpan straight men with her. So she really has to try her best. However, if your goal was restoration, then you are most definitely an outstanding expert. For a moment I thought this place had never been caught up in the fighting. It looks just like it had when I was training here, like nothing had changed. Folklore or customs are essentially an ascended version of habits. Things you're accustomed to carry more memories with them. Don't you think it's better than something new? I'm very grateful for everything you've done, especially this training hall. Which is why you should be big-hearted and let me stay. But we had an agreement. Once Little C is fixed, you will leave. Hey! Nameless shrugs off the wave of nostalgia that is washing over him and makes a call, ignoring how Zhang Yin is rolling her eyes at them. Monitor 101, how's the development going? The development program has been finished running. While there are some minor deviations during the neural cloud installation process, on the whole, it falls within acceptable range. Good. Then send it over to us. We're at... Nameless flinches unconsciously, as though he needs to weigh and calculate the name before he can speak it. We're at Tasha's training hall. Tasha. Address verified. Tasha's training hall. Now airdropping the military drone. The sending Little C by airdrop. Not long after, Zhang Yin and Nameless look up as they hear a whooshing sound, and a shadow engulfs the two of them. Bam. The earth shit. How... I guess Little C isn't so little anymore. This is... As the dust settles, a pair of savage ophidian eyes that glow like lanterns glare at the two of them. Through the communicator, Monitor 101's introduction is still going on. After consulting the neural cloud provided by Ms. Zhang Yin, we identified several areas which do not conform to the requirements of a military weapon and performed certain upgrades and alterations. The most vital factor being its size. Zhang Yin ignores the voice from the communicator because right now her attention is entirely focused on Little C, or the creature that should probably be called Big C. Nameless, do you know the biggest problem that folklorists face? What is it? Well, we're all human. Cultures and civilizations develop differently when they're placed in different environments. Do you know what that principle highlights? Before Nameless can answer, Zhang Yin takes out her weapon with trembling hands. The same neural cloud can grow in dramatically different directions if placed in different settings. For instance, now that you've put my Little C into something like this, do you think its neural cloud will be entirely unchanged by the experience? Shh. The response to Zhang Yin is a thunderous hiss. Oh no! We're gonna be fighting Big C now. Big C has been subdued after a hard fight, but the two have not left yet. Zhang Yin looks down on Nameless, who's squatting on the edge of the plaza. Meanwhile, a crack seems to appear to Nameless's calm demeanor. I lost. You see, that's the true nature of a snake. What's with all those modifications you made? Snakes are no good if they're too long or too aggressive. The important thing is for them to be nimble, light, and dexterous, so they can wend between obstacles. The longer a snake is, the more easily it gets hurt, and then you have to spend lots of computing memory thinking about where to put it. I understand. Nameless sighs and then she's been lecturing him, and then looks away from the screen of the compact retro gaming console, which displays an eye-catching "You died." Oh my god! She's having him play Snake. The classic game. Oh. She's having him play Snake. Oh my god. And this game is called Snake, I believe. It's very good for teaching the basic concepts of guerrilla warfare. Games are fundamentally a way for preparing for battle, but later on they drifted away to becoming from their original objective. So you're saying, humans invented games in order to prepare for battle? Sure, kids chase each other around and play fight, just like animals practice how to hunt, it's instinct. Snake, don't you mean Doll Rescue? I think, well, Doll Rescue came after this event. It's only because of the Mika dartboard that we know about Doll Rescue. In fact, I think Doll Rescue, the event that Doll Rescue was in, was immediately after this event. Because Nameless makes an appearance there too. Anyways, hello there, Nostromo. How's it going? Sure, kids chase each other and play fight, just like how animals practice how to hunt. It's instinct. Zhang Yin waves around the game console in her hand. But as civilizations progressed, games branched out more and more. And now we're playing gacha, the worst type of game. Some of them tended towards the violence and competition. Others favored strategization and calculation. And then there are those like this, where you leave a record, then strive to beat it as your way of competing with yourself. I'm doing a little bit better than yesterday, I guess. Still not able to fix my sleep. I have a feeling it'll take a while. I woke up 30 minutes before stream, but hopefully I'll be able to wake up with the morning sun soon. So you're saying while I still have sun anyway. We're up on the Arctic here. We don't get sun for half the year. So you're saying we were born for the sake of becoming part of a game played by humans? Of course not. Games nowadays have a different meaning. However, that's good too. Human instincts tend towards fighting, but their hearts are inclined towards peace, which is why the course of history is filled with twists and turns. Are there other such examples besides these games? Oh, he's coming around. Oh no, he knows. He knows! Zhang is feeling much better after winning a clash with Nameless for the first time. She holds up her game console and lightly why does she have a game console with her? Taps its side with her fingernail. I just noticed. Her index and thumb are short, but her middle ring and pinky are long fingernails. And they're painted blue. Or what is that? It's not turquoise, it's like aqua. The most traditional example of this would be the Chinese Dragon Boat Festival. It started out as a way for people to remember a great man called Chu Yuan. But in the end, it became a festival for everyone to rejoice and make merry. Isn't that an insult to the deceased? The more misfortune people experience, the more they crave happiness. So they trampled the dead Chu Yuan's suffering and sought their own happiness on the day of his demise. Oh my goodness. If that great man who threw himself into the Miluo River wanted people to spend their lives in miserable depression, he would not have become a great man. Why did the humans not reset Chu Yuan? Was it to respect him? Why didn't they just reset him? Why didn't they just reset him? Speaking of the Mika dartboard, when is the Jiangyu event release supposed to be? Still, I feel like it might be a while for Jiangyu to release, unless they really want to rush her out, because she's still fairly recent in the Chinese server. I know we still need to get. What was her name again? The Sweets lady. The Sweets lady with the big arms. I forgot her name, but her event was a while ago and we still don't have her. AA12 it was in Girls Frontline. Well, humans and agents aren't the same. They can't be reset easily. Even now, well, I heard there's technology that allows you to copy the brain. Very few people actually make use of it. That stems from humanity's fear and respect of death. They fear and respect death? It comes up in the culture of many places. It's the very first thing that humans acknowledge as absolute. Zhang Yin raises an index finger in front of Nameless. Once you die, you can never come back to life. What does that mean? Is it like increasing the difficulty or something? If there really was a creator, then perhaps he would think of a way. After all, if humans could die and then come back to life over and over again, then mistakes wouldn't need to be remembered. If life were not the most important thing one could stake, then humans could try again and again and not need to fix their mistakes. So they're willing to accept the fragility of life in order to remember their mistakes. I don't get it. From the information in the database, humans still keep making old mistakes all the time. Even after paying such a heavy price, they place themselves in danger over and over. Perhaps this is where humans differ from ourselves. I'd also like to understand why, when life is so precious, he still insisted on risking himself. Zhang Yan's voice trails off. Nameless's gaze rests on the wall of the training hall. A somewhat faded nameplate that reads Tasha looks back silently on the two of them. Using something that doesn't come back to remember one's mistakes sounds like it would be meaningful to the living. But what of the dead who will never return? Perhaps it's not fair, but the dead are the dead, and they tell no tales. However unwilling they might be to accept it, people only see things that are alive. That's why the humans made me. You? Oh yes, didn't I tell you? I'm a cultural researcher, and my job is to document and preserve all the tracks of humanity has made, as well as reproducing cultures and historical material that once existed. Let me have some water. I'm talking too fast. What I seek is the proof that they once existed, be it through familiar homes or objects passed down from the deceased. The most instinctual wish of humanity is to use a tangible existence to convey an intangible bond. A formless bond. As she sees a somewhat lost look on Nameless's face, Zhang Yin's eyes twinkle, and she smiles wickedly. I have lots of video records. If you let me stay here a little longer, I can... No can do. You're so stubborn. Zhang Yin throws up her hands grumpily. So the true reason why you're staying in the Cyclops sector is to carry out your purpose. But is there a point to it? You are not an agent of the Cyclops, and you have no obligation to do so. I don't know. You don't know? Yeah, well, I understand the value of what I'm doing. I don't understand the point of taking risks to do so. But someone else did it. He knew he could have died, yet he rushed into the battlefield, all for the sake of recovering cultural information that would have been worthless to a bystander. Even now, I still don't understand why he did it. What does that have to do with the Cyclops sector? I am the fruit of his research. I haven't inherited all the knowledge he had. If I can bring life back to Cyclops and heal the scars of war, then perhaps I might come to understand what he was thinking. Things here aren't as simple as you think they are. Neither should I let an outsider take care of the sector's problems. Before Zhang Yin can respond, Nameless stands up. But what you said has meaning to me. Think of it as a thank you gift. Saying so, Nameless hands a gorgeous-looking cube to Zhang Yin. What's this? It's a sensory amplifier module. If you need to control a big snake to help you fight, it'll help you save some operands. I told you I don't need that clumsy big C. Don't just make your decisions for me on your own. So you don't want it? There's no point of rejecting something as good as this. Who knows? It might be necessary during an emergency. I'll take it. With a flick of the wrist, Zhang Yin tucks the shiny cube into her sleeve. Let's go. We'll head back to the database, submit Little C's information again, and we'll see if we can restore it. Sir, sorry to disturb you, but we found a data trail from an unregistered agent. In any case, I'm busy now. I'll go collect the data with you later. If Nameless isn't around, I can question local agents about stuff. Sure, no problem. I remember the way to the database so I can go by myself. See you tomorrow? Nameless falls silent for a moment upon hearing those words. If the situation permits, I'll see you tomorrow. With that, Nameless turns away and vanishes into the ruined streets. Well, that was a long section. Super long. Let's see. Right, do this. Looks like they added a lot more functions into the game. Monitor 101. You must be hungry after saying all that, Miss Zhang. Have some military canned rations. The can emits a terrifying stench. Is it really edible? Looks like I just have to hold my nose and hope for the best. Yeah, I wonder how old those rations are. Generally speaking, you don't want to have rations that are way too old, past their expiry date. In first place, cans are outdated because they're way too heavy. Canning food requires a lot of work. They're kind of fragile. Like, strangely enough, plastic is less fragile than the cans because the plastic is easier to carry around, and the cans, once you poke a hole in them, they're no good. The cans might still, the plastic stuff tends to come in multiple packages. It's funny the sector made rations out of the operands and don't just eat plain right. No more cans. I actually want to try eating some MREs at some point. I hear the Japanese ones are really good. The Japanese, Italian, and French MREs. I hear they're all really good. Canadian ones they're okay. They're kind of average. They're not bad. Our leader and that green-haired doll still at the plaza number 3. Leader lost 100 games of Snake, so he decided to try challenging her with Tetris instead. How did that turn out? Leader lost another 50 games. Even agents have a hard time escaping the allure of classic games. That's just sad now, isn't it? Is that why he can't focus? He's sulking. Have you guys had rations before? They can be pretty good, I think. Immunity reduction, let's take that. Yeah, I finally got the deal. Pretty cool. But it doesn't do a lot of damage, so he'll pretty much never get VIP or MVP. Miss 101, are you there? Monitor 101 timidly pokes her head out in response. Are you looking for Monitor 101? Sorte 101? Or Sorte 101? Oh yeah, Nameless isn't the same model as you. I was looking for you, Monitor 101. I came to resubmit Little C's data. Alright, data entry complete. I'm so sorry I couldn't help you out before. No, that's alright. I was the one inconveniencing you. Everyone from the Oasis feels different. Haha. That's right. I'll get closer to her like this, and start by figuring out what's going on in the Cyclops. Speaking of which, Monitor 101, are there many different types of agents in Cyclops? While individuals are capable of very specific functions, there are only 2 main types of agents. Typically, we call them monitor and battle types. So that means you have 2 administrators, right? Huh? You could say that, yeah. Olivia is one, while the other is... How did you know that? Is the other one Tasha? Nameless told me, but I only saw Olivia today. Is Tasha not in? He actually told you about Tasha. Then why didn't he explain it to you? Explain what? Tasha isn't around anymore. Huh? It's not as though the information is confidential. You'd have found it eventually if you stayed longer. Originally, the monitor agents and battle agents had different tasks. The battle agents would fight each other, while the monitor agents were responsible for recording data and keeping the situation under control. Later on, the battle types started becoming overzealous in carrying out their commands, to the point where they ended up becoming hyper-aggressive, and even attacked the monitor types. Such a thing really happened? Yep, a greater sanctifier set up a quarantine wall in Cyclops, but that didn't solve the problem. It was only when everyone from the Oasis came and quarantine wall was broken that Olivia managed to correct the battle types, who had become too obsessed with fulfilling their commands. Surely she should have used that ability sooner, right? Or do you mean... Olivia could only do that because she received Tasha's administrative permissions. Only a full set of administrative permissions could correct their commands, but for some reason Olivia didn't reset Tasha after that. Did anyone ask Olivia why she did that? Sorte02 asked her once, but even he was stonewalled. Sorte002, nameless. Judging by your tone, it must have been very unusual for him not to get an answer, right? Yes, he was once Tasha's adjutant, and very popular among the battle types. We all thought there must have been a big bug in Olivia somewhere, seeing as how Nameless submitted many requests to reset Tasha, but Olivia didn't approve any of them. So that's why he asked me about those things. He's trying to understand why Tasha is dead. If he's Tasha's adjutant, then does he have the authorization to manage the battle types? Currently, he's in charge of a squad of most elite battle types. He handed his permissions over to Olivia after the last request to her failed. Olivia has been very busy for the past 2 days because he handed so many permissions to her. It seems pretty strange. He didn't oppose her until the end, but instead handed over his permissions. Could it be? No way. You don't look well, Miss Zhang. Yeah, my bad news alarm is going off. Were you equipped with such a function? If you're not feeling well, would you like me to get Mr. Jin? It's just an expression. How could you actually think such a thing exists? No wait, you have a point. Jin might know more about this, which means he can verify my guess. Thank you, 101. I'll go look for Jin right now. But I didn't do anything. That's fine. There'll be stuff to do after this. I might be overthinking this, but could you help me apply for permission to speak with Olivia? Yeah, I can. Meanwhile, Jin's bar. It's been perfectly restored and repaired, as though it had never been damaged at all. We have warriors who are skilled at destruction, and engineers who are adept at restoration. Thank you for keeping in touch. This is today's ice water. Nameless picks up the cup by Jin's hand by reflex, but then puts it down again. Give me something alcoholic today. What would you like? Oh, he's somewhat suspicious. Jin takes out his shaker without hesitation and prepares to mix a drink. Something stiff. The stronger the better. Then I shall use the water of life as a base to mix a cocktail for you that burns like the fires of war. But is that alright? You've never ordered a drink from me before, in all the time you were here. Once, I thought ice water could cool the ever-present desire in my neurocloud, but I was wrong. Oh no! Oh no, he's gonna go nuclear! Nameless picks up a glass as though he's trying to see someone's face in the rippling liquid within. You know what I'm thinking, don't you, Jin? Your feelings were what told me the answer. And here I thought you were going to try and calm me down before informing Olivia. I've been watching your hands all this time. No, why would I do that? This is an internal matter for this sector, so it should be settled by the residents of this sector. Without judgment, going with the flow, it's precisely because you have these qualities that I'm at ease with letting you stay in a Cyclops. If your friend had the same mindset as you, I wouldn't need to chase her away. Do you still want to chase her away, even now? At first, I wanted to have her leave before everything started, but it's too late for that now. Olivia has made a fatal error, and I want to reset her as soon as possible. Fortunately, my specialty is ambushes. Yeah, he is going nuclear. Jin listens to him as he pours the drink into his glass. So you've made up your mind in the end. You would never have asked that question before. What that wine glass holds isn't just a drink, but a part of one's life. Are you really sure you want to do this? Jin takes out a lighter, and a flame ignites, illuminating Nameless's inky black eyes. Ah, of course. The moment he voices his determination, Jin lights the cocktail. Nameless raises the glass as though he's making a toast to someone. Actually, that friend of yours said something I liked very much. Be it through familiar homes or objects passed down from the deceased, The most instinctual wish of humanity is to use a tangible existence to convey an intangible bond. I'm not human, but I approve of that statement. Tonight, everything will come to an end. Nameless hoists the flaming glass and downs it in one gulp. The glass lands on the bar counter with a crisp clink. Yeah, he's gonna go rogue. He's gonna go rogue. Wait, there's only two text stages. Everything else is battle. Correction. Correction! Ugh! Angry emotes in chat. Correction! The arrogance is gone, revealing her true nature. She's being corrected. Makasete kudasai. Hai hai. Nani makase shimasu. Let's go with this. They fix it up so soon. Cyclops agents sure are efficient. Repairing a single building is easy. Repairing an entire sector is the hard part. Welcome, Ms. Zhang-yin. Are you planning on having a drink? I don't, but it does. Zhang-yin takes out the cube. Some manipulation later, Big C wails and lands in front of the counter. Looks like it needs a glass of soothing Long Island iced tea. Big C. Huh, you knew what I was about to do? Accepting a customer's feelings and consoling them is my job. But what about you, Ms. Zhang-yin? I don't need anything. I don't want anything to eat other than grilled fish either. I see, I'll go make some now. Don't! What's the matter? The bar has been reinforced, so even if there's another explosion, it won't affect I see, well that's just fine, as if... How can you nonchalantly talk about something so frightening? I'll get to the point. Jin, do you know what Nameless was planning to do? I don't understand what you're getting at, Ms. Zhang-yin. I was only planning to try and trick you at first, but hearing you say that, I'm sure of it. What do you mean? This bar of yours is built at the quarantine hall. There's no way you'd miss anything the battle types are planning. If you really didn't know what this scheme, you'd have asked about what happened with Nameless, instead of just flat out denying it. You're equipped with an excellent logic system. But I hope you'll forgive me for this, because protecting the customer privacy is a principle of mine. I will not volunteer any information on them except at Lady Olivia or the professor's request. Saying so, Jin pours the Long Island iced tea he has mixed into Big C's mouth and gently rubs its head. A look of delight crosses Big C's face. He's feeding alcohol to a giant snake, and the savagery in its mechanical eyes gradually fade away. Similarly, I would not mention anything about Zhang-yin or Little C should anyone show an interest. Even if the sector was about to plunge into fighting, that is simply the course of the Cyclops sector. Even if you get involved in the fighting, that is my responsibility. Zhang-yin sighs and rests her forehead in her palm. Big C was thrashing about since just now, but now it's calmed down and affectionately noses Zhang-yin's hand. You can't solve all problems just by withdrawing your emotions, Jin. It's just like the Big C. If I hadn't subdued it enough for you to feed it the drink, could you be certain that your bar could have remained intact? Your drinks can only give Nameless a temporary shelter, but once his desires overwhelm the numbing of alcohol, the danger they bring will be far beyond anything we can imagine. Miss Zhang-yin, if interfering in this matter is your intention, then why do you not allow the agents to choose the path they want to walk? Because I know the kind of loss it entails. If things were meant to unfold naturally, the Nameless wouldn't have needed to save me twice, only to chase me away. Perhaps he was simply doing his duty. Well, whatever it was, because of his duty or his intentions, or if he was forced to, The things he's done won't change. He saved me, so I'll think of a way to save him, even if that's not what he wants. And if he isn't willing to listen to your suggestions, will you force him? If I can win, I'll force him to accept my proposal. Winner takes all, I believe. That's the custom among the battle types. And you are confident of winning, Miss Zhang. It doesn't matter if I can win or not, I still have to go. Jin takes back the glass Zhang has left on the table. Through the glass, he sees her face, but also a familiar figure. However, the activities of the Sanctifier still pose a threat to us, so I fear this might not be the best time to make a move. We still need to press forward, even if it's dangerous. The Sanctifiers will attack us and the Wandering Dolls. I hope the Oasis can become a safe haven for the dolls until we can return to reality. Right now, we need to bring back our lost family. You're similar to the Professor in certain ways. The Professor? Yep. Venturing into the mountains, even though you know tigers live there. I believe there was a Chinese saying along those lines. The Professor might speak quite something if even you are making a face like that. Still, we can't talk about them just yet. I've got more pressing things to do. Be it through familiar homes or objects passed down from the deceased. I'm not saying that again, it's too long. I believe you said something along those lines. Is stopping Nameless your wish? I haven't thought that much about it. Perhaps you could say that. Zhang Yin raps on the table, somewhat anxiously. Jin, on the other hand, chuckles quietly. Before today, Nameless only ever ordered ice water. He never requested that I mix a drink for him. Huh? I saw what you and Nameless were doing at the training hall while I was waiting for the bar to be fixed. Do you know what that place once was? Tasha's training hall. Are you saying, if you're so inclined, you can go there after Cyclops' sun has fully set and wait there? Tasha's training hall is near Main Road number 3. And if you go from there... Is he going to the admin center? I can't possibly speculate on that. Zhang Yin humps and picks up Big Z, preparing to leave. That's enough for me, thanks. Hang on, Miss Zhang Yin. It's already evening, what else do you want? If I'm not wrong, you haven't taken in operants ever since you were rescued. Perhaps you might need a resupply of purified operants to help you in your future endeavors. Zhang Yin follows Jin's line of sight to the drink cabinets behind him. One for the road, then. All right. I shall make an exception just this once, so don't disappoint me too badly. Oh, I guess she's getting a drink from him. Jin recalls his time with the professor as he tries to mix a new cocktail. Seems there's a bit too much coffee in the mix. No, my time with the professor wasn't bitter. Bitterness helps in bringing people to their senses. This is just what the professor needs. I like bitter coffee. I like bitter tea, I like bitter coffee, I like bitter chocolate. What about you guys? Are you good with bitter? One of my favorite pranks, though it's not really a prank, is that I like to give people my chocolate. I like to give people like a bite of some of my chocolate. Thing is, I eat 99% chocolate. It's like got the consistency of mud. It's very thick and very bitter. So most people aren't able to handle it. I like watching their faces as they slowly realize what it is. I think if you're fully prepared for eating bitter chocolate and you know it's bitter to begin with, you're not as affected. But if you're not, primed for it, it might be a bad experience. Ms. Zhang, do you still need the data for that big snake? Yes. Just replicate this set of data. Actually, I'd suggest you make some modifications to it. For instance, you can install a new model of anti-ballistic armor plating, as well as dispersing the operand stores within it, so it doesn't lose excessive operands if its bodily integrity is compromised. Metal types and monitor types have completely opposite ways of thinking. While it's definitely a military sector of way of self-improvement. After Zhang Yin relays her guest to Olivia, the latter mutters to herself for a while. Thank you for sharing this information, Ms. Zhang Yin, but Nameless is an outstanding battle-type agent. If you want to stop him, you'll need to be prepared. Saying so, Olivia brings up some heavy mil-spec weapons. I don't know how to use any of them. I'll just take them for now. Reflect. Fragile label, no kill like overkill. And advanced healing. Fragile label. Let's get that. Wait, we're still at Jin's bar? It's a little too quiet. He opens a record player and fills the small bar with the sound of a piano piece. The music pours through the air, but it doesn't help his logic cortex feel better like it usually does. A sea of emotions fills his mind, like how the life stories of the customers who once poured their hearts out to him linger in his head. I can't calm myself down. Perhaps I should play another record instead. He goes from one record to another, chasing strange emotions in his heart, and his thoughts follow the music as they drift to the recent past. The lesser sanctifiers that was lunging at Jin suddenly disintegrates. My friend went to vacation once and she got a lot of chocolate. I didn't realize it was dark and really pure, so she gave it all to me. What a good day. Andre, are you a fan of dark chocolate as well? I absolutely adore dark chocolate. But I guess if it was possible, I would like to have some, be able to add some orange or like lime peels to my 99% dark chocolate, just so it's not as crazy bitter. I don't mind the bitterness. I like having some flavor as well. You love it? Excellent. Wonderful, wonderful. We like bitter chocolate here. Thank goodness we managed to catch up. Jin, are you hurt? Thank you for your concern, but that was a timely rescue. It's been a long time, Persicaria and Professor. Great news, Professor. His neurocloud integrity is very high. This isn't a suitable place to talk. I understand. Large quantities of sanctifiers might arrive at any moment. Let's head back. The cloud sector has no fixed position anymore. Where will we go back to? To the Oasis. A new home for the Professor has prepared for us. The Oasis Command Center. Professor, I am Jin, at your service. Professor, you don't look too well. Would you like an espresso martini? It allows you to enjoy the fragrance of alcohol while lifting you up, making it suitable for those who must grapple with problems late at night. I'll have a glass then, thank you. Jin mixes the drink and places it beside the Professor, then watches their faces. The Oasis doesn't seem to have much manpower. Perhaps you might need some kind of computational assistance. Well, we're decently staffed for now. Things will get better once we find Lamb, whose forte is with calculations. People are always drawn to things that are like them. From my experience, before coming to the Oasis, the same principle holds true for dolls and sectors. So shall we focus our searches on computation-related sectors? I believe it would be more efficient that way. However, the activities of the Sanctifier still pose a threat to us, so I fear this might not be the best time to make a move. We still need to press forward. Since you have made up your mind, allow me to go with you to assist with the healing. Jin could tell the Professor was a unique person. They were very slightly different from that other Professor he had met before coming to the Cloud Sector. They were keen, but not anxious. Despite the Oasis's limited resources, they had never once given up on taking in more dolls. Professor, it seems Miss Olivia has agreed to exchange a request you mentioned earlier. However, Cyclops is currently rebuilding itself, so I can't build an interaction channel right away, like the Rosum sector can. She suggests that we send a doll over as a liaison for the exchange of information. Jin, would you be willing to accept this task? Why did the professor ask a doll about this? They could have just directly ordered him to do it. That was not a formality, but a genuine question. Jin knew very well that the professor would allow him to refuse. Of course, meeting the needs of a customer is every bartender's duty. As he loses himself in his recollections, Jin begins cleaning his glasses and bartending utensils by reflex. Miss Zhang Yin is similar to the professor. They don't save people because they're programmed to, but because of something beyond their programming. Be it through similar homes or objects passed down from the deceased, the most instinctual wish of humanity is to use a tangible existence to get it. They keep on saying that. A wish. Jin polishes the mixer in his hand with practiced ease. If I had a wish too, and I wanted to make it come true, what would happen if I added a new ingredient to an existing recipe? During his contemplation, Jin moves to take out a bottle, but he has forgotten that the record sleeve he took out is already sitting by his hand. Oh, what a dreadful mistake. My apologies. Jin apologizes on reflex, then bends down to tidy up his mess. There's no one in the bar though. Who is he apologizing to? The spilled drink spreads over the ground, and he sees his own face in the tiny puddle. The gin in the drink stares back at him, its mouth opening and closing. He hears his own voice speak. The new recipe will also be an excellent cocktail. Meanwhile, Zhang Yin is running down main road number 3. I'll make it right. The sun hasn't set yet. I need to hurry. Gotta go faster. Gotta go faster! Memories of the past flash continuously through her mind. Professor Teng's smile, his crippled legs, and the way he sent her off every time after that. I couldn't stop Professor Teng, but I've got to do my best to stop Nameless, even if I have to use that. She grips the glowing tube tightly and picks up the pace, running towards the dark night. She's gonna stop him from making a big mistake. Oh gosh, we're taking a lot of damage. Next. And having a full DPS build is pretty crazy. While bidding Olivia farewell, Zhang Yin runs into an agent that looks a lot like 101. She looks intently at the handgun Olivia is carrying, and her expression grows tense. She looks like she wants that handgun very much. Why is that? Looks like this sector has a lot of stories to tell. Well, we know that. I'm just thinking about what's gonna happen with Nameless, but we already know that he survives this. He's not gonna die. I'm just not sure what's gonna happen after. How this will come to an end. Oh, it's nighttime. Night falls on the Cyclops sector. A squad of agents advances stealthily across the half plaza that once belonged to the battle types. Well, looks like things are fixed. Stop. Monitor 104. Verify the conditions ahead of us. Sir, no abnormalities detected. The other monitor types have not made any unusual moves either. Good. You're the only monitor type here, and only you have the authority to perform internal investigations. I hope you understand the weight of your responsibilities. I'll need you to give me a sit rep once every minute after this. Understood. This time we have to get Tasha back. Nameless nods. The other battle agents remain silent and carry on wordlessly. Hang on, please wait. I'm detecting an unknown agent reaction up ahead in Plaza number 3. An unregistered agent. Wait, could it be? All of you take cover here and wait for my signal. After giving his orders to the agents, Nameless heads down towards the plaza. Zhang Yin is waiting there. The breeze blows, the night is clear. Cyclops' night sky really takes me back. In the past, I'd stare at the moon myself and think about where I'd be traveling next. So you came here just to look at the nighttime scenery? This area is still very dangerous. You ought to be standing by at Jin's location until you find an appropriate frame for that snake of yours. And watch you sneak past the bar and assault the admin center? The air suddenly freezes as Zhang Yin says those words. This is an internal matter for our sector. You don't need to concern yourself with it. Indeed, it is an internal matter for your sector. The thing is, Nameless, you helped me out with many things, including Little C. More importantly, what you wanted in exchange for Cyclops was to be rebuilt. We're only halfway through. Surely you can't make extra demands of me, right? Extra demands? What kind of misprogrammed nonsense are you spouting? That certainly makes sense coming from someone who hasn't tried a drink before. The first drink gets them totally sloshed. Nameless, even the average monitor type agent knows you don't get along with Olivia. Do you think Olivia wouldn't be on guard against you? Was it Jin? Jin's not the point here. I checked up on Cyclops' history. Olivia might be a monitor type, but her fighting power is on the same level as Tasha's. You guys haven't thought this through. You don't have enough of an advantage. I know that. Olivia is an administrator, and thus she is stronger than me. But I still need to try. You want to bring Tasha back? What the hell do you know? I don't have time to waste on talking nonsense with you. Step aside, Zhang Yin. This is a huge matter that concerns the survival of Cyclops. I spoke about this with Olivia. She told me it was Tasha's last wish. Shut up! Nameless suddenly raises his voice, and his facial features contort in anger. That's just a lie told by the living. By Olivia. If dead men tell no tales, then doesn't that mean we can only believe the living? You said it yourself, didn't you? Be it through familiar homes or objects passed down. I'm not reading this again. My very existence is the proof of Tasha's wish. But... step aside! Nameless grips his weapon tightly and takes a fighting stance. You're a guest of Cyclops. I don't want to hurt you in the relationship with our sector has with the Oasis. So stop wasting my time. So it didn't work, huh? Let's do it the battle type way then. Winner takes all. You're going to challenge me? Just you? Just me. And the help you gave me. Zhang Yin takes out the cube, bolstered by operands. The cube swiftly expands and multiplies into the form of a gigantic snake. Oh dang. There we go. Big C. Yeah, she looks pretty imposing next to the moon. And with Big C next to her. Wow. Go back, Nameless. Olivia just needs time. She'll explain it to you later. Looks like you're dead set on trying to stop me. It looks like you've stuffed your fingers in your ears. Big C, let's go. Not so little and not so cute. Well, maybe still cute. I don't mind Big. Big just means it's easier to hug. You wouldn't hug a big snake, would you?
今回は逃げられるなんて思わないで。ヘビよ、像をくらえ。その体の秘密全部暴いてやる。所詮は長中まつぎ、催促にしてがく朝し。
Alright.
週の一生
Another stage. Comprehensive mirror. All we seek is peace. Okay.
準備完了。ご期待に応えご覧に。フェリックス
You.
出動待機。弓の準備はもう済んでるよ。
You.
任せてください。
And you.
ライブの時間なの？出発するぞ。
It's 2 layers. Okay, okay.
反撃のチ
Crush
ャン
this.
ス。所詮は長中まつぎ、取るに足りませんね。
You go here, you go here. Oh wait, we got you here. You here.
一緒に帰り。催促にしてがく朝し、週の一生白したり。
Alright, it's not so good if we're not all grouped together, huh?
せいぜい楽しませておくんなまし。法隆玉海に泣く、形相落光を切る。
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's not good. Who do we need to eliminate first? Get rid of you.
お見逃しなく。ヘビよ、像をくらえ。その体の秘密。ヘビよ、像をくらえ。
Oh my goodness.
所詮は長中まつぎ。
Okay, okay.
一緒に帰り。そう。
Too squishy.
イージスの盾起動。催促にしてがく朝し、週の一生白したり。
Need functions. Give me more functions.
皆様。所詮は長中まつぎ、取るに
Okay,
足り
we'll
ま
take
せん
healing.
ね。
Healing works. Healing is good.
Heavy よ、どう。催促にしてがく朝し、週の一生白したり。
The sound of clashing and explosions tears through the night. I found your weakness. Ugh. The moment Nameless raises his gun, Zhang speaks quietly. Big C, Tetra style. The huge snake hisses, and operand blocks rapidly stack up, blocking Nameless's bullets. Don't push yourself, Zhang. Your weaknesses are too obvious. The snake is powerful, but the recovery time between each attack is very long. He attacks the large snake as he does so, destroying the illusionary cubes one after another. Same goes for your defense. Even if you fine-tune your defense to resist bullets, it does no good against other things. The heavy shield smashes the serpent's fangs and connects with Zhang Yin's body, sending her flying. Ugh. The huge snake swiftly coils up at her landing spot and catches Zhang Yin in its coils. Nameless doesn't press the attack, merely watching her stand back up with the snake's help. For the last time, I advise that you leave Cyclops immediately. Oh yeah, she's looking pretty beat up. But he's also got some scratches on him too. Zhang Yin doesn't reply, and the snake coils around the cube before taking up a battle-ready stance. Why are you so obsessed with this? You barely know anything about our history. You're just a scholar flipping through it. All you did was destroy a simple structure and listen to some stories. I don't think it was destroy. I think it was fix. Fix the simple structure and listen to some stories. Do you understand the meaning behind these things? Do you understand what every single word and symbol of every single little character detail means to us? I don't understand, but I'm in the process of doing so. Are you still trying that crude wordplay at a time like this? You're trying to understand? Are you kidding me? Cyclops isn't that simple. I'm not talking about Cyclops, Nameless. What I'm saying is that your actions are helping me understand Professor Teng. To Professor Teng, the traces of a culture about to be consumed by the fires of war are things he would protect even at the cost of grinding himself to dust. What are you talking about? Everything you're doing is to fulfill the prayer in your heart, to protect the thing you cherish. Since you know this, then why are you trying to stop me? Oh yes, I understand it, and I accept it, and I know how arrogant my previous thinking was. I couldn't even fix a house without your help, and here I was thinking I could help restore an entire sector. If you understand, then step aside. You think you can get Tasha back through battle, but I've seen the results of far too many battles. The fighting will destroy even more of the sector's traces, and the first trace to be destroyed will be the you that Tasha left behind. Zhang Yin wipes away the blood on her face and looks at Nameless. Nameless can sense the determination burning in her eyes. In the past, I didn't know why the old man fought so hard because I didn't think it was worthwhile. But now I have a goal that's worth it. I'm going to protect the history here and fix it, not reset it. Even if that means fighting a battle I have little hope of winning. You'll be the first to be reset, and the cloud sector where your blueprints are is nowhere to be found. Zhang Yin sucks in a breath, as though she's recalling something, and then she laughs quietly. Just as the celestial bodies never cease their movement, so should a gentleman never cease to improve himself. If you don't get it, then just pretend I said that to make your fate said that you make your fate with your own hands. I will protect you, and through that action I will protect Cyclops, which has been through the fires of war, and that which is about to take a step forward. I'll do it, no matter how unlikely it is that I can succeed. You are utterly impervious to reason. Nameless takes a deep breath, and ripples of operand fluctuations course over his body. I should never have allowed you to sway my neural cloud. The Cyclops sector doesn't need to be fixed. Once it is reset, everything will return to how it was. A dauntless fighting spirit ignites in Nameless's eyes, and upon seeing it, Zhang Yin responds back with a curt bark. Big C! A terrifying construct coils up, and bares its fangs, bloodlust as Zhang Yin speaks. The moon remains hanging in the night sky, coldly looking down on everything. Oh, we're getting intense here. Oh, we can bring in Jin. Let us do so. Let's have Jin participate. It's too bad Nameless doesn't get his own little sprite, or his own little, character. Let's deal with you first.
くらえ。何の儲けにもなりませんで。
Amidst the intense tempo of battle, Zhang Yin is doing her best to keep herself calm. He's heading left. What does he plan to do? Even with the combat data Olivia gave me, I hardly have any live combat experience. Calm down, Zhang Yin. Calm down. Just as the big snake deploys a force field, Zhang Yin retreats to the edge of the plaza, avoiding the ground that has been blasted into unevenness by gunfire. However, Nameless immediately catches up and blocks off Zhang Yin's route of retreat. He's aiming for where my footing is unstable. Big C, go up 100 floors up. There's a crisp sound of collision as Zhang Yin leaps onto the flight of stairs in midair, which have been conjured out of operands. Just as she's about to bombard Nameless from above, she sees Nameless raise his gun from where he's standing beneath her. She's playing Fortnite on him. Crap, I'm sitting duck in midair. Just as Nameless opens fire, Zhang Yin throws herself off into the operand stairs and narrowly avoids the bullets. Yeah, apparently trying to Fortnite doesn't actually work in this game. Guns are an incarnation of mankind's technological development, and so am I. We were both born of the self-same root. Why are you in such a rush to fry me? I'll give you one last chance. No, I'll give you one last chance. If this drags on, your chances of victory will only diminish. Battle types often conduct night combat exercises. Did you think Olivia will notice? And here I thought only your words were harsh too. Turns out your actions are. It's just my basic nature. The big snake's tail sweeps towards Nameless. Nameless raises his shield to block, but the tail suddenly extends and smacks the gun away in his hand. Huh! He's been caught off guard. This is my chance. The moment Zhang Yin rejoices, her vision goes black. Nameless tosses his ballistic shield aside and charges straight ahead. And before the big snake can defend her, he grabs Zhang Yin by the neck and flings her to the ground. Without a controller, the big snake instantly collapses. Your snake is just like that game. It gets stronger the more scattered operands it absorbs from its surrounding over time. Perhaps I really wouldn't have had a chance if it had gone on any longer. Nameless. I won't kill you, but I won't let you leave my sight either. Hello, this is Nameless. Monitor 104. Send me a copy of an emergency restraint program. Monitor 104? The other end of the transmission remains silent. Something's not right. A gunshot suddenly rings out, and Nameless rolls to the side into taking cover, taking Zhang Yin with him. Oh, he's got a hostage. Who's that? Who else can it be in the Cyclops sector? The clouds move across the face of the moon, forming a column of light that illuminates the newcomer. A white-haired girl holds the gun that had just been knocked out of Nameless's hands, quietly taking aim at him. Olivia! As Nameless speaks, his voice full of hatred and resentment, Jin speaks as well. Can you move, Miss Zhang Yin? Zhang Yin struggles to her feet and runs off, still holding her throat. Nameless, I already told you the reason for it, so why do you persist in doing this? You think I'll believe your lies? How could Tasha have abandoned her mission in order to rest forever? And here I thought you knew her better than me. Stop talking in circles. Where's my team? I took charge of them, by force, with my authority. Not with your vaunted administrator permissions? I didn't use my administrator permissions to reach an understanding with Tasha. Take this. Olivia tosses the gun she's holding to Nameless. Since you won't believe me, we'll settle things with the battle type way. If I lose, I'll reset Tasha. If you lose, you'll do as I say. Fine, you're on. I guess in the end, it's still up to them to deal with it. And we'll just be here watching.
これより人生の調合。
所詮は長中まつぎ取るに足りませんね。
これより
お茶の子さいさいでござい。皆様最初にして学が差し週の一生白したり一緒に狩り今回こんな簡単に勝てちゃうなんてさすがは私。
Like, I won't lie. I often feel, how do I say this? Pretty out of it. It might be the lack of sleep, or it might just be well, it's most likely it's a lack of sleep.
これより
There's a lot of underlying stuff I know why, but
こう
I just wish
何の儲けにもなりません
I
ね。
could be a little bit more conscious when I'm doing these streams. Alright, we're gonna do restore everyone's HP. Nameless and Olivia fight an intense battle in the plaza. Why not sit on those steps for the time being? I've cleared the gravel that used to be there. The way I am now, it's all the same no matter where I sit. Despite saying that, Zhang still chooses to sit on the spot where Jin cleared, and watches the non-stop flashes of firelight and fighting in the plaza. So he was going easy on me just now. Nameless is the best of the battle types after all. According to the agreement between Olivia and I, she should have come 10 minutes later. Did you contact her ahead of time? Taking in everything and analyzing the situation is my stock in trade. You really are like one of those tengus who deliver messages. Usually men who praise themselves like that end up eating humble pie immediately afterwards. Too bad this isn't a story or movie. Huh. Well, if such a thing did happen, I hope it'll take place a little bit later. Right now, I have to look after an injured customer. I'm not going to drink anything. Your drink tastes horrible. I see. Jin takes out his shaker and scatters the liquid into the air. Refined pure operants scatter from within, falling on Zhang Yin and easing the wounds she took during her battle. What's this? It smells nice. It is a simple recipe. 25 grams of full-fat milk powder, 4 ounces of distilled water, and 0.75 ounce of vanilla syrup stirred with ice. The taste is sweet and rich, with a faint hint of sourness. It is the ideal choice to lift your spirits after a battle. So basically it's baby formula. He's not denying it. There's actually something else I would like to correct. Don't change the subject. I did not contact Olivia on orders from the professor, or on orders from anyone else. It was simply my wish. Oh, and why did you suddenly think things through? She's getting smug again. Miss Zhang Yin, I recall you once said the heart is like a well. Did someone finally open yours up? Perhaps. Many people have tried to pour water into mine over the years to create a source of water. And now I have noticed the presence of water. Wow, that sounds so cringy! That sounds so cringy. Thank you, Miss Zhang Yin. Once this matter is over, I intend to thank the person who drew forth this water. And who is that? You'll meet them too. They are the professor of this oasis, Hakuya. Oh! I believe that apart from asking them to make greater use of me, the only way I have to thank them will be by having them sample a new cocktail recipe. You mean that milk powder from just now? Certainly not. The professor is an adult, and they appreciate the intricacies of alcohol. He's throwing a jab at her. So you're saying I don't look like an adult? I have seen many girls dressed to the nines who visit bars while posing as adults. Hardly any of them manage to succeed. Thus, I am quite experienced in this respect. He's doubling down. But you gave me an alcoholic drink earlier. This must be your revenge for me saying I hated alcohol. How could that be? I would never be that wicked. However, that might not necessarily be the case for a messenger Tengu. Look at me when you talk. Don't look away, you. It seems the battle between Miss Olivia and Nameless has come to an end. The earth-shaking struggle has finally come to an end. Zhang Yin follows Jin's line of sight, and her eyes come to rest on Nameless, who is down on one knee. Nameless lost. Well, of course he lost. What else were you expecting? There was no way for him to win in the first place.
氷のように溶けてゆくのか。
Oh my...
ヘビよ、どうくらい？その体の秘密。
Why is... Oh.
尻尾噛んじゃった。
Oh, shoot. Everyone just melted. That's not good. That's not good at all. Not good, not good. Let's get a function, another function. We need another function. Guess we'll get this inspirational shot. No. High risk target. Okay. Alright, alright. This should work better, hopefully.
起動。
You.
ヘビよ、どうくらい？ その体の秘密、全部暴いてやる。ヘビよ、どうくらい？
Alright, that works a lot better. Oh yeah, big snakes.
お茶の子さいさいでござい。
The big snakes do so much damage. Okay, we're good. Nameless kneels before Olivia, supporting himself with his shield so he doesn't completely collapse. Even the administrator of the monitor types has such outstanding combat skills. I've lost. Send me to where Tasha is. You want to be destroyed? The losers should meet such a fate. But we'll have a next time, and the time after that, all the way until the humans return again. You and I will, but how about Tasha? I've already told you her wishes. Was that really what she thought? Olivia closes her eyes. It's as though that battle happened just a moment ago. Tasha's voice echoes in her ears once again. Olivia, sorry. I'm a bit too tired. Did you know? When Raven built the wall, I was kind of relieved. Because as long as we never met again, you wouldn't ever have to see me. And after I went and became like a monster. Please, don't reset me. Don't cast me back into that cycle of bloodshed. I'm content. I've had enough. My dreams have been long fulfilled. Tasha told me that she was tired of all this. She had fulfilled her dreams, and she had had enough of the process of doing so. I'm sorry if you think I'm lying, but I can't betray her last wish and bring a new iteration of her into the Cyclops sector. I know. I always knew you weren't lying. What? I just couldn't accept it. That the person who had been leading us into battle all this time had suddenly turned away from her original goal. Oh wait, this is basically the setup with Boss. With Boss and Big Boss. Where basically the boss was tired of fighting. She didn't want to fight anymore. But Big Boss couldn't accept it. And that's pretty much the story of Peace Walker and even of Metal Gear Solid 5. So Nameless is basically like Big Boss. He just couldn't accept it. He couldn't accept that Boss wanted to just stop fighting and pass on. Nameless rests his forehead on his shield. And his shield hand, his voice low and hoarse. Tasha. I wanted to hear her say in person, the battle is over. Olivia looks at Nameless and extends a hand to him. I won't kill you. The dead leave a legacy behind. You and I are both her legacy. A legacy, huh? I don't want the things Tasha left behind to vanish forever. There are still many things in Cyclops that we need to do, so be my adjutant, Nameless. With that, Olivia reaches out to Nameless. I'm sorry I can't let you hear her voice. Nameless doesn't answer. He simply struggles to his feet and takes her hand. The moon rises high in the sky, and Olivia's voice echoes over all the Cyclops. To Sorte 002-369, and all agents in the Cyclops sector. The battle is over. Color equals orange. Oh my gosh! Meika! How does this happen? Oh, for crying out loud, Mika. Looks like we still have another part left. Part 2, Chronicle. Left for future generations to tell. So we have our little unwinding story. 1 week later, Cyclops hosts a celebration. Let's establish a holiday to commemorate all the agents' casualties in the past, and Tasha, who won't be coming back. I'm surprised, Ms. Zhang Yin. I didn't think the proposal will actually go through. That wasn't my idea. It was the wish of many agents. I never heard them express a wish like that. Well, folk tales don't come from being forced, but from earnest wishes. Even if nobody speaks them out loud, they'll unconsciously influence people. When the first person makes a move, the others who resonate with them will end up being infected by that wish and follow suit. Over a long time, customs are born. In other words, a simple accident can turn a well into a river. Just like how all rivers eventually flow out to sea, feelings have always been things that can resonate with others. That which swirls in the shaker isn't a drink, but the customer's rich and varied life. Oh, that's a good metaphor. It didn't come from me, but a foreword in a bartender's manual. I'm impressed by how folklore and drinks could connect in this way. In that case, while you're having the professor sample your drinks, I shall find some way to bring myself to regale him with the significance during the festivities. Jin smiles. Oh, he's smiling! Before that, there's someone who is looking for you, Ms. Zhang Yin. Zhang Yin. Zhang Yin turns and sees Nameless standing not far away from her. I haven't seen you all week. Monitor 101 said you and Olivia were doing overtime together. Is it all done? Not yet. However, I came to offer a flower, since this is an occasion to remember her. How do you feel about all this? As Zhang Yin says this, she produces a flower as well, and moves to the end of the line of agents. Nameless accompanies her. It's strange. It makes me think of the Dragon Boat Festival you mentioned. I'll be putting this flower on the place where she once fought. She won't receive it, so it's just me telling myself that as long as I haven't been reset, I won't stop thinking about her. That's the meaning of the holiday, after all. I think this is why Professor Tung took such risks to record that culture. As long as everyone remembers the deceased, then they'll continue to exist in one form or another. I still don't quite understand why Tasha chose not to return. Perhaps she didn't want to see us anymore, but we still need to keep operating, and even miss her. What would you do if she truly didn't wish to be remembered? Then she can tell me that in person, or perhaps one day I'll come to think the same as her, and my data will be sealed like hers. When that time comes, perhaps we'll meet again in the sea of data. Did you know, Nameless? What? Humans have said similar things in the past, and entrusted their hopes to their next lives. They come to the front of the queue. Zhang Yin lays her flower down in front of the plaza's memorial plaque. I don't understand what a next life means, but in the future, this place will become the only place the Cyclops where flowers grow. That sounds good. This place is too bare, there's no romance in it. So there will be a flower patch the next time I come. Have you thought about what flowers you'll grow here? When the traders come again, I'll ask them if they can bring some seeds in from the ecological sector, or the art sector. We'll decide then. You said the next time you come, so you're preparing to leave. I'll be going after taking part in today's proceedings. Jin is annoying, but he's right in one respect. I can't change Cyclops. What? You clearly made a key decision. No, you made that decision. All I did was speed things up, and made the process look slightly less messed up. I've done everything I can for the Cyclops sector. After this, I want to return to reality as soon as possible, and meet the person who's most important to me. And who is that? There's nobody more important than family. He doesn't have much time left, so there's no telling when I'll be able to see him next. Every time I think I understand a concept you've brought up, you immediately bring up a new one. Maybe I've inherited one of Professor Teng's bad habits as a teacher. Many of his students complained about it. I won't complain about you. Oh yes, this is yours. Nameless takes out a brand new cube. This is... Per your request, I asked the monitor types to make a little C for you. Imagine if they made a Tasha T-Doll in GFL too, and she is pissed you brought her back. Oh my gosh, that's a long time later though. I feel like it really wouldn't be appropriate. Though she is pretty badass. She definitely looks a little badass. Oh. Yeah, you revive Big Boss, or you revive Boss, and she's like, what the fuck? She's like, what the fuck? I didn't want this. Let me rest. Why are you doing this? Per your request, I asked the monitor types. Oh, actually, I think the open beta for the Chinese server should be out this month. So I'm going to keep a lookout for that and see how the sign-up process goes. Hopefully, I'll be able to participate in the open beta this time around. And I won't have to like dupe people with my my cope stream where I was playing Xenonauts instead. Per your request, I asked to make a little C for you. I hope this will protect you until you reach the oasis safely. I'll try it out afterwards. If it's no good, I'll bring it back and have you guys remake it. Certainly. Zhang Yin takes a cube and makes to leave the memorial site. Zhang Yin, wait. Is there something else? When you go, I'll probably be busy working with Olivia, so right now I want to tell you something. Zhang Yin looks at him curiously, waiting for him to continue. Cyclops will always welcome you back, until you can return. Aww. Well, show me your flower patch next time we meet. Oh, that's so cute. Half a day later in a null area outside the Cyclops sector. So, this is the person who's meeting. It's Nora, isn't it? Yep. Yes, is there a problem? Yeah, is there a problem? Oh, come on. Comic repetition has long since become outdated, you black parrot. Sorry to ruin your pleasant self-perception, but I'm here to collect material. That doesn't match what the professor told me. One moment, please. I need to check. What did the professor tell you? Show me! Hang on. Oh, oh, oh! Oh. Zhang Yin looks up from the message window, a mocking smile on her face. Oh. Now, which stray cat wrote on the request form that she was afraid something would happen to me, and specially requested permission to come along? Oh, that stray cat was just worried about a snake who can't live without her grilled mackerel ration. Then why don't you come nuzzle up with me with a meow or two? That way I might take pity on you and not make this public. Let's talk about something else. These two are such good friends. I've gotten some excellent material from this. Oh? The present situation in Cyclops reminds me of the time I saw your review of my first work. Ah, the third-rate script you made up out of whole cloth. It's true, I wasn't too mature back then. Oh my, the wind's so strong I couldn't quite hear that, you know? I said, it's true that I wasn't too mature back then. And after that, many of my fans and I went and did an in-depth study of that culture. Huh? I'm surprised you actually admitted to it so readily. I suppose this is a good ending. I can't deny that a film production's popularity far eclipses that of a thesis. The media and academia each have their own strengths. That doesn't mean I acknowledge your standards, you know. A third-rate script simply doesn't pass muster. Then you'd better not ask me for anything starting from now on. Why don't you toughen up a little and go to the Oasis yourself? I'll go myself if I have to. I've been to many places on my own with little C by my side. Saying so, a serpentine form composed of beautiful cubes spirals into existence beside Zhang Yin. I keep getting the feeling that I've lost it. I've lost at being eye-catching. But this is just the first round. Shall we compare our destructive power then? Little C can easily smash that big rock over there. Saying so, Zhang Yin orders Little C to crush the white rock. However, the rock does not disintegrate like she expected. Instead, it splits open, and white operands gush forth. This stuff looks a little familiar. It kind of does. It's a kind of lesser sanctifier, I believe. Detecting offensive signal. Now summoning reinforcements. Coordinates number 4 watchtower on the edge of Cyclops sector. Oh no. Oh dear. Don't talk like it has nothing to do with you. Run! Screams and wails fill the null area, and they linger in the air for a long time. Okay, that was cute. That was really cute. That was incredibly cute. Okay. So we have Zhang Yin. And let's read her log now. Birthday, November 22nd. Cyber Media. Vocation, folklore researcher. The EF55 model doll known as Zhang Yin was a folklore research doll that was specially commissioned by Cyber Media. Its primary purpose was the exploration and protection of cultural heritage. This doll was not intended for mass production, and was instead designed to meet a client's specifications, though its development costs far overran its original projected budget. The EF55 utilizes the highest spec internal memory and data processing modules available on the market, in keeping with its high production cost. As a result, the EF55 completely fulfilled every aspect of its commissioner's requirements, be it in terms of data screening, selection, classification, preservation, or even the fact that it only ate grilled fish. Wait, she can only eat grilled fish? Not even steamed fish? My gosh. Not long after entering service, Zhang Yin and her owner, Tang Jiangxing, traveled to the war-torn Mizune village together, after which they collaboratively wrote the book, The Riddle of Mizune Village. Shortly afterwards, Zhang Yin voluntarily applied for and joined Project Neural Cloud. I'm gonna move this thing a little bit. Okay. As one of the rare few folklore research dolls, Zhang Yin was every bit as persistent as she is professional, and possessed outstanding academic philosophy, as well as being keenly familiar with history. After World War III, the field of folklore studies was practically stagnant. The upheavals in the internal situation plunged it into an unprecedented dark winter. Under these harsh conditions, Professor Tang Jiangxing's insistence on exploration and recording in the field marked him as a breed apart. That said, this determination, which was incomprehensible to outsiders, led to Professor Tang and Zhang Yin obtaining extraordinary academic results. Zhang Yin followed Professor Tang in observing various things about which most people were either completely ignorant or which they would have trouble even imagining, and she recorded them and compiled them into book form for publication. At times, Zhang Yin would publish research theses under his name. However, the field of folklore studies was a small one, so most of her works remained on the shelves of university libraries, only to be perused by researchers in the same field or amateur enthusiasts. Among Zhang Yin's works, the most prominent would be the one which brought her to fame, The Riddle of Mizune Village. It was easily read and understood, with an exciting plot that maintained academic rigor of the subject matter. Upon publication, fans of the book recommended to their family and friends, and it triggered a wave of interest in folklore research. Even readers who were leery of suspense novels could easily enjoy it. No wonder she gives Nora so much shit. It's because she actually published something that was like a bestseller. Apart from her academic professionalism, the most common opinion about Zhang Yin among the people who met her could be summarized into 2 words: a weirdo. Zhang Yin enjoyed acting mysterious without regard for whether or not those around her could understand her. However, she was not bothered by their complaints, and didn't even get angry when criticized to her face. All that was closely linked to how Professor Tang spoiled his granddaughter rotten. He spoiled her. Oh my goodness. Spoiled her rotten. Old Tang, your Zhang Yin is quite the character. Thank you. I was so happy with her that I took her in like a granddaughter. Come, Zhang Yin, say hi to Uncle. Hello, Uncle Hao. I am Zhang Yin. Is your student alright after that competition? He seemed to be as droopy as a dried vegetable when he left. Oh, Tang, teach your granddaughter to show some respect. But it was well said, wasn't it? Little Gao was too cocky and deserved to be taken down a peg. Wow! This boomer. This is a pretty based boomer. For Chinese people, they always like, oh, the youngins should always show respect. But in this case, he's like, yeah, she said it like it was. Your kid's a little shit. He fucked around and he found out. From the trivia of Professor Tang and Zhang Yin, in the afterword of, they put it in their novel. They put that little exchange in their book. Zhang Yin was a free spirit as ever, coming to the Oasis. However, Zhang Yin's shallow resistance to things she liked was in stark contrast to the depth of her knowledge. That fact became public knowledge after Aki managed to enlist her help in renovating the dorms. I just gave her what she wanted. She liked fish, especially grilled mackerels. After that, many dolls attempted to enlist her aid, whether it was creation of sweets, the brewing of drinks, cloud server TRPGs, wait, tabletop RPGs, construction planning, or even astronomical prognostication. She seemed to have knowledge on just about any topic, and was able to provide valuable insights.
浮ついた RPG かぶれにはわからないでしょうけどね。スネークゲームというのがこれまた印象深いゲームでござんしてね。最も簡素な画面で最も根源的な命の衝動、欲望およびそれがもたらす結果を表現してるんですから、100年経とうがその道理は色あせやしませんよ。ま、当然肝心なのは大層面白いという点でござんすがね。
Oh my god, I love her voice. It just drips with arrogance, but like it's refined, and it's got some hint of sarcasm in it too. It's incredibly haughty. I love it. I love it. I love this girl. The Snek game is very deep. Its mysteries will never be understood by you people who have been contaminated by shallow RPGs. It expresses the most profound motivation of life in the simplest possible format, namely desire, as well as the consequence of giving into it. Even after 100 years pass and the dust of ages settle over it, its meanings will never fade. And of course, the most important reason. It's a lot of fun.
ノーラでござんすか？彼女のデタラメな創作理論には幾度となく正当な批判を呈してまいりましたが、いやはや残念至極。誰もが改心できるわけじゃござんせん。彼女自身、浅はかな欲望と官能的な刺激に溺れるホルスタイン女になるとは夢にも思わなかったでしょうね。
What did she say?
ちょっとあった。どこと比べてるんです？
Oh my god, what are you saying? Nora? I've given her works reasoned critiques many times in the past, but unfortunately not everyone has a chance for enlightenment. Oh well, it's not as though it were her fault that she was designed to be a big-breasted bimbo who wallows in the sensual simulation of base desires. Hey, which parts of us are you comparing? Big-breasted bimbo who wallows in the sensual simulation of base desire. Oh my god. You know, breast envy is a terrible personality trait, right? Zhang Yin's lifestyle was also quite out of place in the Oasis. Unless she was on dispatch, she would eat the same thing for every meal. Grilled fish seasoned with only salt and pepper. The rest of her energy needs were met by charging. Meanwhile, her pet snake C was a colorful viper, whose bright red scales and emerald eyes were quite frightening. Although its appearance in the cloud server was quite different from how it looked in real life. Many dolls were caught unawares and startled by it. According to Zhang Yin, C had a hard time getting past various security inspections when in the city. But it was a bosom companion when trekking outdoors, whose animal instincts had gotten Zhang Yin out of tight spots many times. Zhang Yin has visited many places thanks to Professor Tang's assignments, and her curiosity, from isolated, ancient mountain villages, abandoned religious buildings, as well as mysterious forbidden zones. Wait, she's like been to she's been to the zone? She's been to Stalker? She's been to Chernobyl? Which are seldom traveled and which often give rise to strange tales. Get out of here, Stalker. The only way to keep her senses amid such seclusion was with external items. Since she often found herself running around in places without internet access, the professor gave her an old-school gaming console, as well as C. And she often played Tetris, Snake, and other games on it to pass the time. While Professor Tang was still capable of field expeditions, she would always compare her scores with his, which were one of the few forms of amusement they had other than work. Eventually, Zhang Yin became an expert in these games, and after coming to the Oasis, her name often topped the minigame high scores.
嫌われ者なのは存じておりますよ。あーしは気にしませんけどね。程度の低い輩に関わるとひどくくたびれますから。サーカスの獣使いが話の通じない獅子をしつけるのに似てますよ。あ、お教授さんの場合は話の通じる獅子といったところでござんしょうかね。
I know I'm not a particularly likable person, but I don't really care. Associating with shallow individuals is just tiring and injurious to the spirit, much like a beast tamer in a circus must waste time on breaking in a pack of lions who don't understand human speech. Ah, that said, you seem different, Professor. In your case, I guess you're like a lion that understands human speech. Outside of her work, Zhang Yin's main hobby is reading ghost and horror-themed stories, which was how she came to know about interact and butt heads with Nora. Their ideals was fundamentally opposed to each other. Zhang Yin believed in building the mood through the background, while Nora was more inclined to use sensory narration to create a sense of horror. Their differences led to Nora writing Zhang Yin into her stories as a character on several occasions, and then killing her off, usually the first character to do so, and in the most horrific fashion. Unwilling to simply let that slide, Zhang Yin would haunt the comment section whenever Nora's works were released and nitpick each and every flaw in Nora's stories. Their poor relationship is by no means a secret in the Oasis. After Puzzle lost to Zhang Yin several times in the marvelous mashup minigame, she recruited Nora into her ranks and tried to get Zhang Yin and the professor to play a tabletop RPG with her, in order to teach Zhang Yin a lesson. However, during the game, Zhang Yin and Nora joined forces to torment Puzzle. If not for the professor's help, Puzzle's character sheet, a veteran of many campaigns, might have ended up shredded into bits on the spot. So neither of them can stand Puzzle. Despite this farcical turn of events, the incident did give Puzzle some inspiration. Shortly afterward, Puzzle, Zhang Yin, and Nora, and Imhotep, who had sensed what was about to happen and joined up, came together to form the Oasis tabletop role-playing game group, which brought much joy to everyone in their spare time. Oh no, they're all fans of Dungeons and Dragons. Puzzle, Zhang Yin, Nora, Imhotep. It is very difficult for humans to... wait.
対立関係から歩み寄るのは人間にとってはひどく困難でござんしょ。何せ異なる言語、文化背景、生活環境、そういったものが人の間に深い溝をなしておりますから。そして溝の両側に立った人間はたちまち向こう岸を邪推するように。これは生き物の自己防衛本能ですからね。やむなしでござんすよ。あーしは大抵歩み寄りなんざ初めからごめんこむりますがね。だからこそあーしを分かってくれる人というのは極めて貴重なんでござんすね。お教授さん、言葉の意味がお分かりで。
It is very difficult for humans to approach mutual understanding when they set out from different directions. Different languages, different cultural backgrounds, different living environments. All of them draw lines between people, and very often it is very easy for the people standing on either side of these lines to view those opposite to them with great malice. This is a self-preservation instinct in living beings. Thus it is not actually wrong. Therefore, I've never believed in forcing myself to understand others. However, this is also the reason why those people who do understand me are that much more precious. Do you get my meaning, Professor? When Zhang Yin first joined the Oasis, she expressed a strong desire to return to the real world. She told the professor about her worries regarding the state of folklore studies in the real world and hoped she could return ASAP to continue her work. In addition, her familial bond and desire to see Professor Tang again appeared to be a major reason Zhang Yin wanted to go back. A doll's personality is often affected by their owner and designer. Zhang Yin inherited a strong sense of homesickness and desire to be with her loved ones from Professor Tang, and as such, she indicated her willingness to devote all her efforts to the Oasis operations in order to find a way to return to reality ASAP. Okay, so it looks like Professor Tang was the type to get homesick despite going on trips all the time. He really loved his family. At Zhang Yin's request, we have appended one last audio clip to the end of her file. China is a country that values its heritage, but we should not confine ourselves within its borders. When I was still a young man, I heard of the concept of the global village. No country should lose its history to warfare. After all, it's all part of the beautiful story of the world. Excerpt from a speech given by Professor Tang in 2050, taken from Zhang Yin's rollout memory data. Perhaps this was the underlying reason for Zhang Yin and the professor for everything Zhang Yin and the professor have done. They believe in the classic global peace sort of ideal. Everyone should get along, and we need to remember each other.
長らく一緒にいるせいでしょうか。 巷にあふれる階段よりもお教授さんの方が随分と興味深く感じられますね。皮肉じゃござんせん。興味深いと思われるのも決して容易ではありませんからね。つまりあーたとの旅は愉快かつ非凡、不可思議かつ快適だと申してるんでござんすよ。さながら永遠に伸び続け、曲がり時のわからないスネークゲームのように。こういう類の階段はまさにあーしの大好物なんでござんす。もっと深く研究させておくんなまし、お教授さん。
Oh my god, the way she says it. The raspiness is just like, wow. After being with you for a while, I've found you to be more amusing than my many tales of the strange. This is by no means a critique of your character. Becoming amusing in the eyes of others is not an easy task by any means. It represents how traveling with you is enjoyable and extraordinary, surprising yet reassuring, much like the ever-hungry snake that grows longer and longer, whose next turn can never be predicted. Strange tales like these are the kind that I most enjoy studying. That is why I hope you will allow me to get closer to you and continue my studies. Dude, I'm gonna be eaten. She's gonna eat me. I'm gonna be swallowed by a snake. I'm gonna get swallowed by a snake. Yeah, I like her. I like her a lot. Let's oh my gosh. Her live 2D is so cool too. It's so nice. It's so nice. Fortunately, I don't have enough I don't have any materials to upgrade her stars. But let's check out her costumes. Oh, GG, yeah, pretty much. Oh my god, look at those shoes! These are nice shoes. I just love everything about her design. I love her outfit. I love the stupid hat. I love her hair. I love the makeup. Look at that. I love her makeup. I love the little, what is it? The blue, was that mascara or eyeliner? No, that's not eyeliner. Eyeliner is like black. It's like, I guess that's mascara. I like the blue mascara. I like the long eyelashes. I like her belt. I like her the Chinese dress she's wearing underneath. It's like a modern Chinese dress. It's not like old ones. It combines modern and old. It's got the two-sided robes with it. The hat is, I think it's based on a Taoist. It's based on a Taoist ritual hat that Taoist priests wear. I'm pretty sure. And the stick too is what a Taoist priest would use. Yeah, this is her outfit is a mix between the modern Qipao as well as the old Hanfu. So like the Qipao and the Hanfu, like the Qipao that she's wearing underneath is completely different from the Hanfu she was wearing outside. The Qipao is like, it was introduced by basically Manchurians or like relatives of the Mongols. That's what like the Mongol like people would wear. And the Hanfu is what you would typically think of when you look back at like ancient China. So she's got a mix of both of them, and it looks really good. It looks really good. The designer was able to match the two pieces of clothing into a coherent design, a coherent outfit. It's good. I really like this design. I like the tags that this flow here. This tag or this strap. It looks like it belongs, right? Actually, I think the skirt is like a complete separate piece as well. Like if you can't tell, I'm kind of big into fashion. I'm kind of big into fashion. So like the Hanfu is where the Japanese kimono comes from. Although the kimono is very different from the Hanfu now. It's where the Japanese kimono originally came from. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love her outfit. It's great. Oh my gosh. And her voice actress is really good too. Look at that! Look at that! In the background, she's got Nora. Poorly drawn and small as well as her, but like she has herself as like a massive goddess figure. That's so cute. Morning. Hey, Chibity, how's it going? Morning. Wait, did you just wake up? Are you okay, Chibity? I mean, I only just woke up before stream as well. But yeah, I'm kind of gushing over this girl, and she's got like a little boat here. I don't know what this boat is exactly, but it looks nice. She's got her snake. So apparently this is what her snake looks like in the digital world, but in real life it's an actual snake. It doesn't look like this in real life. In real life it's an actual real snake. Gosh. I think she's got an outfit. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh! We're girls, we girls frontline in here. Wait, can I get this? Can I get this? Can I get this for display only? What do you mean display only? Can I get that right now? I want that costume. It's not available. I can't buy that costume. Why? Which post did you make? And make a verse. Battle pass. Oh, it's a battle pass. Okay, I see it now. I guess it's the next battle pass then. Oh, that's the first then. Because the battle passes were always these unboxing, the Awakening series skins. So I guess it's the first time that they didn't do that. Well, you could call it a nap. I see. See, was there anything left for me to do? Oh yeah. I'm gonna set her as a adjutant. We're gonna remove Klukai because honestly, Klukai, she talks way too much. I was watching my sister's stream. I was watching Kuruko's stream, and she has Klukai as her adjutant, but like Klukai never shuts up. She just keeps on talking, and she was interrupting her so much. Right. Oh my god, she's so cute. Snake's so cute too. I'm a big fan of the trope of snake women. Yo, she's like totally my type. She's great! Could be that you've suffered some malfunction to your head, chuckling to yourself as you touch her. I love her, she's great. Oh my god, I love her. Touch her head. Yeah. Hands off my hat. I like how she's just got her like her lip, not her lip, her tongue sticking out. Oh my god, I like her. She's great. She's so good. She's good. I want that skin though. I want this to be girls frontline here. But yeah, I hope you guys I hope you guys were able to enjoy today's stream. Her hat feels like a Meiji era throwback. Those tall black hats officials used to wear. I believe her outfit is based on a Taoist uniform. So Zhang Yin is Chinese. Like her, you know, I was just saying earlier, this green shirt inside, that's a Chinese qipao, and the one outside is a Chinese hanfu. So the hanfu is where the Japanese kimono came from. And the hat, as well as her stick, is supposed to be Taoist priest's uniform. I'm gonna look it up real quick just to make sure I'm right. Make sure I'm not bullshitting and misinforming people. Yeah, I think yeah. The hat she's wearing is a Taoist priest hat. I'm pretty sure it's a Taoist priest hat. I could be wrong. But anyways, Meiji period during that time was still when Japan was relatively, when the migration to Japan from China was not too far ago. So a lot of their clothing still resembled Chinese society. Although it was already, by Meiji period, it was already pretty different, but it was very close, much closer to like compared to now, right? Makes sense with the boat in the big art looking like a Chinese junk. Yeah, I think it was a Chinese junk. Yeah, I love her. I love the idea of snake women. Chinese snake women are like top tier. Because like the myth of the snake lady is a super famous. Madame Snake is like a super famous story in China. Snake ladies are very high up the pole in what do you call it? General attractiveness. Like they're very well thought of. Because like snakes are basically dragons. Snakes are basically dragons. So they're just like one step down from Dragon Lady. Which, if we come from Western, it would sound like, oh, you're just being you're being racist and stereotypical. No. Dragon ladies are well thought of. The thing that you're thinking of is like the lady with the dragon tattoo, which is freaking weird. Let's see. One of the random event quotes in the event currency grinding mission implies ghosts are real. Wait, what? Ghosts are real? Princess Snake from early Dragon... Yeah, like Princess Snake, except... early Dragon Ball was very much based on Chinese mythology. Son Goku is he's Journey from the West. All the characters are based on Chinese foods. Well, not all Chinese foods, but they're generally based on foods. A lot of them are based on Chinese foods. Dragon Ball, Monkey King. Let me read it now. I think I did read this earlier. Coming back from Mizune Village, Zangen and the professor spent days and nights developing all the pictures. Supposedly they contained images of balloons with human faces, a strange snail-shaped monster, a pale-skinned and black-haired high school girl, and stars with eyes. Stars with eyes? That sounds like something from Junji Ito. After considering the possible psychological influences they might have had on viewers, these pictures remain sealed in Nanyun's library. Are you sure they're not Elid life forms? They're probably Elid life forms. They're probably not ghosts. Ghosts? That's silly. Ghosts aren't real. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I have not made a schedule for next week yet, but I want to make it a habit for me to actually make schedules. So I'll have one up. Next week I'll probably be doing Chapter 2 of Neural Cloud here on YouTube, of course. But I'll also be doing Armored Core on Twitch and Armored Core on Twitch for sure. I'm not sure what else. I'll have to think about it. But anyways, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you Nostromo Wolf. Thank you Chippy Crockett. Thank you Andre. And thank you Optodoc. Otsukare. Otsu good night. Otsu Raven. Otsu cringe. Otsu snake ladies are pretty awesome. Otsu, I'm gonna go have dinner now. See you around.